Greetings and salutations, mortals. It is I, Carmine Phlegathon, the most powerful VTuber of all time, the most powerful and the most cursed, he who is cursed under the red moon of fate, he who wields a demon within his right arm. Hello, hello. Hi, hi. Hi, hi. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Oh, I just realized I put the mortals away for the recording I did for Valentine's Day, so I'm just gonna slide them back into position. Back into position. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Today is, strangely enough, of all stream types, a just chatting stream. So you get to basically, I mean, it's basically like every stream in that you're going to have to put up with me rambling at you for long periods of time. Yeah, that and silence. Those are my two states. My two states are silence and incoherent rambling. That's just what you get from me. But yeah, welcome, welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. And what to talk about? Other than the fact that I can blink very fast. See, the problem is that I don't know anything about anything, except video games. I do know video games. We can talk about video games. But that's what we talk about usually as well. I mean, there's other stuff. Anime. I feel like usually with chatting streams, I get like struck with divine inspiration. Or rather, I feel like a big thing with chatting streams, and also just with my content in general, and also I feel like the big divide between myself and the pros is that like pro VTubers and just like really good VTubers, like when I say pro I don't mean corporate, I just mean like really good at what they do VTubers, is that like VTubers can just kind of a certain quality level can just kind of go and be fully entertaining without any sort of you know, outside input or prompting. But I'm kind of like, I need a spark. I need, basically, mortals, you're the ignition key, and I'm the car, mine. So you gotta turn inside me, I guess, to get me going. Wait, I'm not sure that this analogy is quite. I'm not sure that this analogy is okay. I'm not sure if this analogy is accurate. But basically, I feel like I'm somebody who performs a lot better as a reactive force instead of an active force, which is good actually, because it means I'm a hero. It means I'm a good guy. I'm a protagonist, because if I was an antagonist, if I was a villain, I would be an active force instead of a reactive force. That's how stories work, I think, for the most part, right? Usually the protagonists of stories are the heroes who are reactive and fighting to preserve the status quo, and the villains are an active force for change, order, and chaos, you know? So by that logic, I'm a good guy. I'm a good guy, Mortals. You can trust me. You can trust me. Leave the nuclear launch codes with me. I'll make sure they get safely back to the president. I won't use them for anything. It's fine. Don't worry. I'm not embroiled in a 1,000-year-old cult that plots to destroy the world and replace it with snakes, I guess. It's fine. It's fine. Why don't you just eat this meal I've prepared that definitely has no poison in it? And we can discuss all of your secret plans. I would make a terrible... I would see, this is exactly why I would make a terrible villain, Mortals. I would make a terrible villain because I wouldn't be able to hide it. I wouldn't be able to hide my evil... Unless I'm playing with you right now. Unless it's a double bluff. And I'm actually a fantastic villain, and I've been evil this whole time, and I'm hiding it so well by pretending to be some sort of bumbler who can't even pretend to be a villain. Or pretend to be a villain pretending to be a hero. Can't even do that. So ultimately, which is it? Am I dumb? Or secretly a genius that is hoodwinking all of you? You'll never know. I'm too good at secret keeping. You will never have this from me, mortals. You can have my body and soul and mind, but you will never have this secret from me. You will never know what is real and what is fake. Okay, I don't want to get deep there. I'm doing a really good bit though. I'm fond of that bit. Let me self-analyze the bit I do. That's good content. But you know, on the topic of that, I feel like I've devolved kind of naturally into talking about those kind of spy flicks, like James Bond and that one thing. I think Mission Impossible is like that. The thing is that I've seen no spy movies. I've seen no spy movies except the Daniel Craig James Bond movies, and Catch That Kid. And that one film, Catch That Kid, which was like a spy movie featuring like a trio of kids, which I watched like direct on TV when I like channel surfed to it as a kid, because I was like, ooh, it's like spy stuff but for kids. Because I had a phase when I was a kid where basically I would just kind of I was like, if it has a kid in it, that means it's cool. So I was like, so when I watched the Power Rangers movie, despite never having seen the show, I was like, the blue Power Ranger is the coolest because the blue Power Ranger is a kid, and I'm a kid, so I can identify with the kid. Honestly, what young Carmine should have done is identify with the cool adults, but he was too much of a dummy. It's like how when I watched Digimon when I was really young, I would sympathize most with TK, and Kari because they were like the younger kids. But they're tiny babbies. I mean, everybody in the first season of Digimon is a tiny babby compared to me now. I'm an adult. I've gone crazy. I've gone on an incredible tangent. I went from James. It seems that my spirit core, my true center it includes the Digimon, because I just went straight from discussing James Bond, and it took like a couple of connecting sentences, and we arrived at Digimon, because I'm so transparent, mortals. The core of my being is so easily apparent. I can't engage in a conversation for more than 5 minutes without some sort of code word gets said, and it triggers my brain to go, yes, Digimon, and or Final Fantasy, and or this JRPG I really like. It's like, why am I so patently obvious? I'm too predictable. I need to mix it up more. There's got to be something about me. There's got to be something about me, mortals, that you'd never have guessed in a million years. I've got some sort of I've got some sort of interest or something that you'd never believe. The problem is that I don't think I have that. I genuinely don't think I have that. I don't think I have something, that you wouldn't be able to predict about me. Is there anything that I could say that would surprise you? Nope. I genuinely have no clue. I'm too predictable. But yeah, I haven't seen any spy movie stuff, except that it's like a whole genre of like popular film. So a million references of it are made in various media. Oh, I also watched I think there was I'm trying to remember if I ever saw an episode of Totally Spies on TV, or if I ended up catching a clip or two of it when the people were talking about it on the internet after the fact. There's a lot of I watched a lot of television. I watched a lot of television as a child, which is in retrospect is foolish. I should have been playing video games. I had access to it. If I had access to the TV, I had access to the PlayStation. I don't know why I wouldn't have been. I probably was too lazy. I was probably too lazy to get out the actual PlayStation. And because you had to hook up the white, red, and yellow wires to the TV. And plug in the audio visual cables. I was very lazy and bad with that. So if I guess when the PlayStation wasn't set up, I would just kind of sit in front of the television, which was dumb of past Carmine. Welcome, Kamiyana. Welcome. The ketchup, mayo, and mustard ports. Is that how they're codified? I had no idea. They were so condiment focused. It's a good thing I never licked them then, because I don't like the taste of ketchup. I'm okay with mustard, but it's kind of an overpowering one. But mayonnaise is okay. I wouldn't want to taste any condiment by itself. That's not the purpose of a condiment. I guess you could be eating a piece of meat and then just kind of rub it against the cable or the port and get a bit of the flavoring on there, and that might work. I've just had an incredible idea. I've just had the mortals, I've had the best idea. I've had the best idea. Okay, so it's a combination video game console and grill / barbecue. So you can literally game while you grill, and grill while you game. It's perfect. It's perfect. You can go like full Korean barbecue, like flips and tricks, and like eating it straight off of the hot plate of however that works, while you're gaming, and you're just like I'm just picturing just like on the sides of the hot plate. That's where the speakers are, and the monitor is on the is just kind of like you flip it down. Like you flip open the grill, and then you flip. Like I would say that while it's closed, it's still Clavio. Welcome. Thank you for the raid. My maid message still seems spotty. Sometimes it doesn't show up. Sometimes it does. But welcome, mortal. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, raiders. It is I, Carmine Plecathon, the most cursed and powerful VTuber. He who is cursed under the red moon of fate, and he who wields a demon within his right arm. Welcome, Yomangander X, and welcome, Clavio. You are just in time. I've cracked it. I've come up with the most potent and powerful idea. A video game console that is also a grill and barbecue. I am a genius, and I should be on what's the show called? Dragon's Den? Shark Tank? I think it's called both. I think those are the UK and US titles for it. But I am a genius inventor. Welcome, Yushikun. Welcome. No, it's not messy. It's not any more messy than a regular barbecue. It's not any more messy. You can have like Korean barbecue on it while you game. It's revolutionary. It's the next step in food delivery. I'm telling you, this thing could be huge, and because it doesn't exist yet, I can patent it. Does anyone know how to submit a patent? Does anyone know how to submit a patent for a revolutionary new technology so that I can make millions and millions of dollars off of my brand new game? Listen, it won't use an existing game console. It won't be a PlayStation. It won't be a PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4 and grill. And it won't be like an Xbox and grill. It won't be a Switch and grill. It'll have a new proprietary console software. I bet I can sell the idea to Steam. Steam are already making the Steam Deck. What if they combine that with a grill? Oh, I'm too smart for my own good. Valve will surely purchase my idea for millions and millions and millions of dollars. I mean, think about it. The options are listen. I understand that with new technology, with any new technology, mortals, there's a bit of hesitation. There's a bit of uncertainty. But imagine this. You can grill a steak while playing Dark Souls at the same time. Just send me your money now, and we can crowdfund this. We can crowdfund this idea. Let me make a Kickstarter for it, mortals. Let me make a Kickstarter. Might get distracted. But see, that's the thing. We're gonna have it be like Amiibos. Yomangander, we're gonna have it be like Amiibos, right? Because it's a new proprietary software. So the food that you throw on the grill will have food sensing technology on like the hot plate, or like the other part of a barbecue where it's like a rack with like individual lines where there's like gaps in it. That's gonna be loaded with sensors, and it's gonna detect the food that's on there. And if you start cooking your steak while playing Dark Souls, your steak will show up in Dark Souls. And if you let your steak get overcooked, your steak will kill you in Dark Souls. It will become too powerful. You have to kill your... Listen, you have to kill your Dark Souls steak before you're allowed to eat it. And as time passes, the steak will get more powerful until it burns and you get a game over. So it's a game of chicken based on how cooked you want your steak. If you like your steak rare, you are playing on easy mode. If you like your steak well done, you better be sure you can get that clutch win against the steak on well done difficulty in time. In other words, if you wish to listen, this isn't just a combination of two existing technologies in a strange fashion. Listen, this is revolutionary because this will take that great aspect of gaming. I'm in full pitch mode. It will take that great aspect of gaming. The feeling of challenge, of triumph and reward, and it will apply it to grilling. If you wish to claim your meat-based spoils from the grill, you'll have to fight for it by playing one of the 15 proprietary Carmine's Grill Console games, exclusive games. By playing one of these 15 exclusive games, they'll be connected up to our new Meat Bebo system. It's a terrible name, but we couldn't get the original name of Amiibo from Nintendo, so they're called Meat Bebos. Indeed. Now, once the Meat Bebo is placed upon the grill, the game will begin, and the Meat Bebo functionality in your selected game will activate. Until you clear the required challenge, whether it's collecting the right amount of apples in a farming simulator, or defeating a boss in a combat action game, the metal cage surrounding the grill will not lift, preventing you access to your Meat Bebo. If you wish to claim your food, you must become good at the game. I'm going to make so much money. I am genius. Welcome, welcome, Mario Rossi Penguin. The secret to a good Dark Souls steak is rolling it over. That is actually yes. Yes, if you want to flip the steak while playing the grill port of Dark Souls, you are gonna have to do some rolling. It's more the fact that you got to balance it out, because every time you roll, it resets. So if you are cooking the side you want and you roll to dodge an enemy sword, you're gonna be starting cooking the side that's already cooked. Oh no! You better roll again. But wait, no! Now they're attacking again. You got to roll again, and you got to keep that firm in your mind. It's a way to up the skill level, the challenge, the difficulty, the thrill of the game. It truly is a console for gamers. And a grill for gamers. I have come up with the single greatest idea I will ever have in my VTubing career. So... that's a joke, actually. Obviously, I don't know how to patent something, so... the idea's on the table. If you want to take it, I will appreciate named credit in your patent, but I do not expect any royalties. Just spread the love of grilling and gaming to the masses. Oh, and like barbecue places could be like arcades. Barbecue places could be like arcades. In Naruto, whenever they go to the barbecue place, Choji, he's the big one, he likes to eat. They go to the barbecue place once or twice in Naruto. Imagine if when they went there, they didn't just go there and eat off of the grill, they gamed there as well. Imagine going with your friends to the arcade and eating a bunch of cool grilled and cooked meats off of the grill while fighting each other in Soul Calibur. Or Tekken. Or basically, okay, imagine this. One hand holding each of you, one hand holding a light gun, the other hand holding chopsticks. Just putting that meat right up in there, into your mouth gullet. Does this not sound wonderful? I am exceedingly dumb. Exceedingly dumb. Thank you all for tolerating me. But yeah, so this is a chatting stream. So I am allowed to say whatever I want. But I did not expect to start this stream. I did not expect when I started this stream that I would talk about a grill console. I was surprised to see a Pokemon Nuzlocke on your schedule. Have you ever done one? Well, Mario! Let me regale you with a tale. To start off, I've never completed a Pokemon Nuzlocke, despite having read the original Pokemon Hard Mode comic since a pretty young age. Many years ago now. And I actually like read one or two more Nuzlocke comics, like, because they were a big thing here and there. I remember like reading one on DeviantArt that had pretty good art. So the core concept of a Nuzlocke has always appealed to me because it makes Pokemon more difficult. But the thing about me and Pokemon is that I didn't beat a Pokemon game ever until I was already an adult. So I'm already not the best at Pokemon. I don't have the most I have a lot of casual experience in Pokemon, but I've only ever gone all the entire distance 3 times. Alpha, Sapphire, Moon, and Pearl. So when I put the Nuzlocke on the schedule, it was mostly like a spur of the moment thing of like, I need a game to put here, this could be fun. The reason that I picked Leaf Green, at least I think I picked Leaf Green, I hope that was what I put on the schedule, was because when I was maybe tween Carmine, an IRL acquaintance in the schoolyard introduced me to this one site that was a combination of like fandom quizzes and fan fiction. And you could just kind of create an account and like make quizzes, and like write like chapters of like fiction of short fiction. Welcome, Alpha Green 977. Hey, I know this is kind of random, but I just want to say that you're loved and worth it. Wish you an amazing week. My mindset is so inherently negative that I read this and I was like, there's no way it's directed at me. This must be some sort of general purpose message that is just sent out to everybody by an amazing person. I'm going to try very hard. To take the compliment. I also hope that you have an amazing week. I was not expecting that. That cut right to the heart of me. My soft, fluffy, emotional core. At least I think it's fluffy. I haven't checked the consistency. Maybe it's springy. Maybe I have a springy emotional core. But back to the topic of fan fiction. So on this one site, Tween Carmine was like, "All right, I'll give that a try," and I started writing. Well, the first thing I did was I made a quiz, which was, which Batman villain are you? You have a question, Your Greatness? Shoot, Alpha Green 977. Shoot. But yeah, my quiz was amazing. By which I mean it was terrible. It was amazingly terrible. But it was like a series of questions that like weighted the. I put a lot of effort into it actually, but I was a dumb kid. What is your opinion on people that are in constant need of validation? You mean VTubers? You're asking me what my opinion is on VTubers? that's mean of me, and perhaps maybe a little projecting, but that's a pretty. Listen, it sounded. Listen, I don't get that many like perfect zinger setups. Okay, I've got I've gotta land the ones I can when I can. Anyway, what is your opinion on people that are in constant need of validation? That's a very good question, and a very deep question, and maybe I don't have the best answer, considering my level of bias, in that there's no way I would have become a VTuber if I didn't have a certain craving for attention, a certain thirst for the limelight. I think everybody in life wants to feel valued, and everybody in life wants to feel loved and appreciated. They want to feel like they have a connection with the people around them, and they're not just like all alone in the world. And I think that people that are in constant need of validation are people who are just kind of always worried about that, perhaps more so than others, about themselves and their place in the world. And I don't know exactly how accurate this is, but I genuinely think that if somebody's in constant need of validation, then that's just how their brain works. I know it kind of is how my brain works. It's kind of I'm kind of half and half of leave me alone and God, I'm so lonely, you know? I think that being in constant need of validation as like an internal perspective is fine. I think it's a certain type of person, and just a type of way your brain works. I think the real thing that like affects like my opinion on people that are in constant need of validation would be how they go about dealing with it. And I'm sure that there's like, you know, there's healthy methods of dealing with that, and unhealthy methods of dealing with that. Coping mechanisms, if you will. And I think that, like, you know, it doesn't give anybody a free pass for any actions. Because, I mean, nothing really does. But speaking as somebody who very much appreciates validation and attention and is very biased, please continue to shower me with validation. I will always appreciate it. Kwink. But never foolishly, never mindlessly. Please hold me to account. That was a big one, and I just kind of rambled, and I have no idea what it might be like if it's like in relation to anything. I don't know what you were thinking when you asked it, Alpha Green 977, but I hope that it was a satisfactory answer at least. Validate my existence, Carmine. But Yusha, how can I validate your existence when you don't exist? Oh, what a twist! I am the true M. Night Shyamalan. But yeah, about the Nuzlocke. Or is it Nuzlocke? Okay, listen, I've never seen Lost, and the whole thing of Nuzlocke is that it's a reference to Lost. Because the original Pokemon hard mode was Lost. It was a Lost reference. Because it's a Nuzleaf with the face of John Locke. But I don't know how it's pronounced, so it might be Locke. Or Loke. I have no idea. But what I do know is that when I made that Batman villain quiz, I also started writing 2 series of fan fictions. The first one was, what if everybody from my school became... Okay, what if the entire Justice League of the DC universe had to leave the planet and go do a thing? I was probably inspired by Young Justice at the time. What if they all had to leave the planet and go do a thing? And everybody from my school that I knew were like replacement heroes for those heroes. So like one kid at my so basically it was like one kid at my school would become like the plan for it was, I only uploaded like an initial chapter. The plan for it was like one kid at the school would be the replacement Green Arrow, and the one would be the replacement Wonder Woman, Blue Beetle, etc., etc. It was very dumb, but I was a teenager. I wasn't even 13. I was very young. But another piece of fan fiction that I started writing was my own take on the Nuzlocke comic. It was my own take on the Nuzlocke comic, which was like I couldn't draw, so I wrote instead, and I basically played through a little bit of Pokemon Leaf Green and kind of documented my experience. Like I wrote a fictional accompaniment. That's all probably wiped off the face of the internet now. But yeah, that's kind of the reason I picked Leaf Green, along with the fact that it is a Kanto game, and despite having played Blue, Yellow, and Leaf Green, I've never beaten a Kanto Pokemon game, and I would really like to do it with a Nuzlocke team. I feel like we can do it, and I will have chat. I will have chat's Pokemon experts, Pokemon boffins, or poffins, to like advise me. So hopefully that'll go fine, and I won't get everybody in my team viciously, mercilessly, and cruelly and pointlessly murdered by, I don't know, Misty. Misty seems kind of early for the total party kill, but you know, you can never be too careful. But yeah, so basically, Pokemon hard mode. Looking forward to it. But yeah, about the fan fiction I created. Listen, I've been creating stuff on the internet. Well, on and off. Like I make things. I tended to make things when I was younger. I would make things on the internet, but I wouldn't. I was very lazy. Welcome, Gyarogaro. I just said what kind of fan fiction it was. I made 2 pieces of fan fiction on that website. I made the Nuzlocke comic, which was like a dramatized telling of, like, you know, the plot of Pokemon Leaf Green that got like 1 chapter in, and a DC Universe one that also got 1 chapter in, where all of the people at my school would be like replacing like Batman and Superman and Green Arrow and etc. Welcome, Neka Carmen. Welcome. We're discussing my edgy past. My edgy past. Oh, you're tuning in from work? Good luck with the rest of your workday when you get back to it. Cinematic Carmine Universe when? Never. I never want to go full MCU. You never go full MCU. I have no interest in the MCU. Okay, and what about your hidden /fiction account on AO3? Perish the actual thought. Listen, there are other VTubers you can go after, Yarogaro, if you want to discuss like their hidden /fiction. I've written in total I wrote two total chapters of fan fiction as like a tween. That's it. I did not make 65 chapter Tifa Aerith fanfic. I was playing games. I have a lot of snippets of original writing pieces on my computer, but mostly they're original stories. My lord, I have a question, if you may. Ask it! But you don't need to address me so formally, though I do appreciate it, Alpha Green 977. Why going full MCU makes a ton of cash? This is a great point, but I did... Okay, Neko Carmen, you weren't here for it, but in the start of the stream, I did propose a combination video game console / barbecue grill, which will the patent for which will make me a very, very rich Carmine, especially with the complementary Meat Bebo technology that will replicate Nintendo's Amiibo, but for the food that you're cooking, integrating it into the video game, perhaps as bosses for you to fight. Listen, that's going to cover me financially. I don't need to go full MCU. Okay, but a 65 chapter Tifa Aerith fanfic would be good. I beg to differ. It depends on how it integrates with the existing plot of Final Fantasy VII. When are you setting it? How does it deal with the problem of Aerith getting killed in the plot of FF7? Is it one of those AU fics, which might as well not exist? Because what are you even doing, you clowns? Tifa, Cloud, Aerith happens before she dies. Okay, but how long? Like you're gonna have to get. Listen, you're gonna have to get to it eventually. If it's gonna be 65 chapters, all right. Cloud, Tifa, and Aerith are not together for that long. You can't keep a narrative going in the background of the original FF7. That is that long. That's not a problem. The fic just turns into a coping with grief fic. So you're not even going to rewrite the timeline. You're not going to go like full modern AU, but you're also, so you're going to let it just be FF7, but you're not going to rewrite the timeline. So Aerith still dies. It's just that Tifa mourns her more than she already does. This is a terrible fan fiction that you're pitching. I as an editor want to make drastic sweeping changes. Tifa, Cloud, Aerith, Time Janitor, everyone lives happily. That is an attractive offer. Maybe the trip from Midgard to Chocobo Bill takes 5 months. Okay, if you're talking about like the remake Nuka Nuka Carmen, then if the trip from Midgard to Chocobo Bill took 5 months, they would have all starved to death because they didn't leave carrying any food. They literally just left without carrying any food. It cannot have taken them 5 months. There is like, oh, the original game though, they just stop off at Calm. They do like one thing. Like, we don't have a timeline for it, but like just in terms of narrative beats. You think it's terrible, but there's at least thousands of Tifa Aerith fics about grief. Garugaro, the fact that there is thousands of pieces of terrible literature, in my opinion, that's not news. That's never been news. That would never ever have been news. If you want to make a good Tifa... Listen, if you want to make a good Tifa Aerith fanfiction, here's how I would pitch it. You follow the plot of the original game, you develop Tifa's relationship with Aerith more strongly, and you start subtly changing events. Obviously, this you can use this as a way to give Tifa more importance in the main plot in comparison to Aerith. Obviously, you would want the team lineup for the Temple of the Ancients to be Tifa, Cloud, Aerith, and you start subtly changing the timeline. Tifa's more important, and then at Aerith's death scene, there's a big divergence that is in part caused by all of the divergences up to that point. You follow me? And I don't know if you want to introduce time janitors into it. You don't need to. But the important point is to like delineate it from the original timeline so that it doesn't seem like you're jumping the shark when you have Aerith not die. Because Aerith doesn't need to die for the plot of the original FF7 to go in a place. She can live. Like, activating Holy isn't the... Like, she can activate Holy and still live, and they still have to kill Sephiroth at the Northern Crater. TBH, there's only so much canon you can follow. This is true, unless you're writing it entirely in the background. Then, like of an existing story, you gotta tweak with the canon a little bit. Like, if you want to do, like, a romance fic of, like, 2 NPCs that aren't really focused on the original game, I guess that's fine. I thought you said no AU. Garugaro, I meant, like, no modern AU. Like, no, like, it's Tifa and Aerith, but they're like Japanese schoolgirls in modern Tokyo, or it's Tifa and Aerith, and they're like, you know, they're just chilling. There's like Aerith is a rich girl from California, and Tifa's just moved to her high school. It's like that kind of fic. Do you get what I'm putting down? My lord, if your son becomes a priest, does he then become the father? I have no idea why you would ask me this question, and I have no funny answer for it. Like, I guess yes on a technical level? But I honestly don't care. Tifa and Aerith, but they're Twitch streamers. Tifa and Aerith, but they're men and Dragon Quest characters. Neka Neka Carmen. What is it with you in Dragon Quest? And also the gender swapping of Tifa and Aerith. Tifa and Aerith with their Twitch streamers. Like, I mean, okay, to be fair, who wouldn't watch an Aerith VTuber or an Aerith Twitch streamer? I feel like she'd be fairly popular. Dragon Quest is to me what FF is to you, Carmine. Honestly, Neka Neka Carmine, it sounds like Dragon Quest is to you what Trails is to me, a force even more powerful than Final Fantasy. I got another one. Why does the computer freeze if it overheats? Alpha Green, are these just weird, esoteric, like, reverse puns? Like, what is going on? Like, there's thought into them. But the way that they are executed means that that like, you can see the mechanics of them, but they provide not, like, that kind of, like impact. Like, the punchline is in the setup, basically, with those puns. Maybe Final Fantasy is to me what Final Fantasy is to you. Ah, let Final Fantasy be everything to everyone. The world to be enshrouded in Final Fantasy peace. I mean, technically, Aerith is a streamer already. Except no, because isn't that the woman who voices Aerith, Gyaru? Like, voice actors are separate from their characters. Otherwise, you can canonize everything like a voice actor does on Cameo, and that's too much power to afford to voice actors. They already have too much power. We can't buff them any further. They're getting too strong. We have to nerf voice actors now, if we're to save the world from their megalomaniacal takeover. They're gonna take everything over. What do you call a blind deer? No idea. Yep, that's a good one. See, Alpha Green? That's a very good one. That's solid. He gets to be the father, but he renounces the right to be a daddy. What does that even mean, Mario? Now let's all argue about which game's the best. I'll start. FF4 beats up any other FF game. Yeah, except that they followed FF4 with FF5, which had a super customizable job system and a pretty great light-hearted plot. Like, I'm not gonna say... like Final Fantasy IV is great and wonderful, and pretty much like the first one that really, truly, totally knocked it out of the park, like, since FF1. But you're not seriously gonna tell me that, like, it stands, against, like, 5 and 6, the ones people go even more crazy over. I'm doing this for the sake of argument. I love FF4. The VA has done a stream cosplaying and roleplaying as Aerith, so it's the closest thing you'll get. I don't care if she's 6 millimeters close to it. If it's not 100%, it's 0%. No matter, listen, no 3D woman can ever be Aerith. That's simply the truth of the matter, Gyaru. But she is. I still think that she's very cool for doing that. Well, priests can't marry and have kids. True, but in anime, FF4's characters had a tumble personality than most FF5 characters. This is true. FF4 had has really strong characterization and like a lot more party members with like really strong character, and I really like that about FF4. But FF5 has the job system. 6 is good, but 4 has a Dark Knight turned paladin, and the MC has a girlfriend from the start. Damn, high standards. Yes, Gyaru. My standards are the highest. They're the highest in the land. Because I demand 2D. Only 2D. Away with the accursed 3D, it has no place here. Wait, hold on. Hold on, Gyaru. Hold on. Wait, what? Wait, what? Also, welcome, Salamander Zero. Welcome. Hold on, wait, what? Like, I'd love to talk about, like, the virtues and merits of, like, Final Fantasy IV versus Final Fantasy VI, but did you just say that, like, hold on. Which key art? Gyaru, link this key art that you're talking about. Link this key art that you're talking about, because I don't know if you're talking about Lena and Faris or not, and I'm terrified if you are. Yes, you should. No 3D allowed. Oh, also, bye-bye, Neka Kamen. I hope I'm not too late to say farewell and good luck with your rest of your work. I'm having trouble. You're getting rowdy now. It's fantastic. I'm having trouble keeping up at this speed. FF5 plot and characters are pretty good despite being lighter than the game with large casts. Exactly. Yeah, so Gyaru, that's Faris and Lena. Gyaru, that's Faris and Lena. You know that, right? You know they're sisters, you sick freak. They're siblings! They're siblings! That's beside the point! Not each other, dummy. The implication was listen, you have to you know what the implication in the words were. Also, how did also like really, where's that confirmed? The only other girl that they even interact with regularly is Cryle, which I always thought was Creel, but it's Cryle. Trust me, I know. You can't just know! You can't just know these things! You have to cite evidence. Okay? You gotta cite evidence. You can't just make it... I know that Yuffie Kisaragi's favorite color is green. I don't know that. I have no idea what her favorite color is. Green would be an excellent pick. But I can't just say it. That was to the implications part. I'm rapidly losing control of this conversation in a way that is absolutely atrocious. It is cool that in the Amano art though those two are front and center in the party, and Bartz and Galoof are kind of like on the other side. It's very nice. A fellow Creole pronouncer. Yeah, Kamuyana, represent. Final Fantasy XIV might have us down, but we're not out. But yeah, pretty much all the early Final Fantasies are very great. Like when you listen, you go from 4 to 7, and all of the Final Fantasies are strong in terms of both plot and gameplay. It isn't until you get to 8 that you like that there's like a miss, that like the series stumbles. And we've been kind of on and off ever since. There's no hard evidence Faris likes girls, but there's pretty hard evidence she's envy. I haven't played through the entire game, so I wouldn't know. But Faris seems like pretty... But Faris to me sounds like a pretty standard reverse trap. In terms of like... gender identity? But again, I wouldn't know. I do know that she's cool. I do know that like she is an incredibly cool character. That's not up for debate. Like, have you seen her like job costumes? They are like top tier. She is the most like consistently dashing. Hardcore nerfed by the Amano art making her blonde. True! The great curse of Amano. Just look at her in Opera Omnia. Faris deserves to have purple hair. It's like what they did to Terra in Dissidia. Give me my green-haired Terra. Give it to me. Amano! It's weird that they went with that decision. I mean, I guess that like... yeah, they went with that decision, but Bart has his hair color, and Cecil has his hair color, which was already white, so, you know, fair and to the point. Really, like, it's weird. Like everybody else got to keep their hair color. It was just Terra that they were, like, arbitrarily like, nope, it can't be like what it looks like in the game. It's got to be how Yoshitaka Amano draws Terra. But yeah, Faris is top tier when it comes to Final Fantasy party members. I'd call her best girl if I wasn't wasn't like so like such a big fan of Lena, because she has the best theme. The best theme. There's also a ton of people that read bots being into dudes. I mean, people can read anything into anything. I have no idea. I have no idea how these discussions even crop up about like Final Fantasy V, much less about like where you hear them from. I don't get into a lot of like modern discussions about Final Fantasy V of all games, even though I really love it, and it's one of the great two-player Final Fantasies. I mean, literally all I can do is shrug. Literally all I can do is shrug, Yarogaro. Like, I've got nothing to say about this. But yeah, the best Final Fantasy is 8. Wait, no, I know what the best Final Fantasy is. I know what beats all the other Final Fantasies. Final Fantasy Fables Chocobo Tales for the DS. The best. I've arrived here again. We've arrived here again. It's happened again. I'm being pigeonholed into being the Final Fantasy VTuber, and I'm letting it happen. We gotta talk about something else. We have to. We must. There is no other path. It's because he has the most BL dojins out of all the sprite-based FFs. The choices of Japanese dojin artists are such a complete mystery to me that assigning any meaning to their choices strikes me as preposterous. And that's all I'll say on the matter. But yes, I never wrote... To go back to the original key point, I didn't write fanfiction. I did write 2 like weak chapters of fanfiction, and I made a webcomic once. And that's it. When it comes to my creative published works on the internet. That are all very bad, and that you will never find. Even though the webcomic is still up. Somewhere. Out there. But I always wanted to create something. Which is why I did those cringy things. And it's also probably why I got into forum role-playing when I was young as well, is because I just wanted to make stories, and I wanted to create stories that other people would read. And that's still kind of that's always been a low-key ambition for me, and it still kind of is. I'll find myself thinking a couple times, maybe a couple times a day, especially if I'm like playing something really good or reading something really good. I'll be like, I want to make a thing that makes somebody else feel this way, you know? Which would be impossible for me because I have no talent. But anyhow, the core point is that my past is not anywhere close to the embarrassing levels of other VTubers. I don't have any secret hidden fanfiction stashes for y'all to find. I am immune. I'm immortal. But not my immortal, because I've never read that, and I never will. And I'm all the better for it. I don't even read, like, the thing about, like, writing fanfiction, I don't even read fanfiction. I have read and finished to completion one fanfic. And that's the only fanfic I ever read all the way through. And I pretty much don't pick up fanfiction. I wouldn't even know where to find it. I wouldn't know where to go looking for it, because most of the way I encounter new media is usually seeing people talk about it. I don't go hunting. And people don't usually talk about fanfiction. So unless somebody like shows up in my DMs with like a bunch of fanfiction recommendations for me to like read in my spare time, I'm probably never going to read another fanfic to completion. Imagine not reading a 72 chapter Promptus fic where it takes them 39 chapters to get together. But is there a subplot around Gladio and Ignis? This is what I'm asking. And also I wouldn't read that because I'm personally not interested in shipping Prompto and Noctis together. I wouldn't read any Noctis ship. Ignis and Aranea, actually, nice. I wouldn't read any Noctis fanfiction. I wouldn't read any Noctis ship fanfiction. You can't ship Noctis with a single character in that entire game that makes me think, yes, I am interested in this relationship dynamic that they have. You literally can't do it. The one relationship dynamic that Noctis is actually in the canon game is boring to me, in an intense way. I mean, I'm sure it's okay, well, first of all, can it really be a classic if the game only came out in 2016? Unless people were writing about it since Versus 13. Oh, that's actually very possible. Yeah, the problem with that Gyarugaro, with that dynamic. Okay, so the problem with that dynamic, and reading Noctis Ex Prompto for that, is that there's already the perfect canonical ship. The perfect canonical ship of that dynamic already exists, and it's already in my favorite JRPG series. It's in one of my favorite stories of all time. I have no reason to seek it out in Final Fantasy XV fanfiction. There's no possible reason on this earth. I can just replay a favorite JRPG of mine and just get that again as many times as I want. No, it's not a. The dynamic is there, but it's not a BL ship. The dynamic is there. It's not a BL ship though. I don't actually have a favorite BL ship. I'm sorry if I got your hopes up. I mean, I'm bad at phrasing I'm bad at phrasing incredibly. The actual particulars of the individuals biologically doesn't matter to me, you know? Is what I'm saying? I'm interested in the dynamics. And I'm not actually that interested in the dynamics in that I'm not like a man. Like some people on the Twitter will be like, this is my list of 16 favorite ship dynamics. Like what are yours, etc., etc. I just like stories I like that happen to have. I'm a sucker for a love story, but usually as it's not what draws me into the media. You can't hook me. You can't listen. I'm a very particular fish. You can't hook me with a love story. But if you put a love story that I will enjoy in a work that you've already hooked me with, it's going to enhance my enjoyment. Give me the emotional hurt comfort tags. No emotional hurt. Bad Gyarugaro. No emotional hurt. Only emotional comfort. Only good feelings. Bad feelings are outlawed to the banned lands. But there's comfort. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I still have to read the hurt. No, thank you. Also, is an edgy anime guy who is brooding and bad at feelings ex-blonde himbo ray of sunshine? Isn't that just Sasuke x Naruto? Isn't that just Sasuke x Naruto adjacent? Isn't that just Narusuke? Isn't Noctis X Prompto just Narusuke? I rest my case. I don't know what my case is, but I rest it. I'm putting the suitcase down. It's been weighing in my arms. I've been double fisting suitcases this whole time, holding both of them. I'm just gonna lay them both down now. Whew, they were filled with rocks. So much lighter now. Wee. But yeah, I can't say that I have like fictional ship preferences, like ship dynamic preferences. Hard-hitting question: friends to lovers or enemies to lovers? If you're asking for like which one is better, like I like both. I like both. Okay. The thing is, I like enemies to lovers more in principle. I like enemies to lovers more in principle because, heck yeah, seducing the villain, right? Emotionally seducing the villain. But in practice, I can't think of really any examples of enemies to lovers in works that I've personally enjoyed. But when I think about my favorite... Well, actually, wait, no, hold on. Yeah, there's one enemies to lovers, which is one of my favorite love stories ever. But my mind tends to go more easily to friends to lovers stuff. Like in my favorite visual novel. And that one enemies to lovers one is really more of a Romeo and Juliet vibe. So, it doesn't count completely, I would say. I feel like proper enemies to lovers would have to start out with them like really hating each other and wanting to kill each other. But I've never seen any sort of love story like that ever in any piece of media that I've consumed. Because I imagine it's got to be tough to make it work in like a believable way. I thought you watched Double Zeta. What? Wait, Gundam Double Zeta? No, I haven't seen Gundam ZZ. It's like one of the. It's the no. Because when my big brother was making me watch all of Gundam, watching all of Gundam, we watched all of original Gundam. He made me watch all of original Gundam, episode by episode, and then Zeta, and then Char's Counterattack, because he wanted to show me Char's Counterattack, and he wanted to show me Char's Counterattack. And in order to show me Char's Counterattack, he had to make me watch all of Gundam, and then all of Gundam Zeta. But we skipped Double Zeta. We skipped ZZ. Forget I said that then. Aha! Gundam Double Z has enemies to lovers. I wonder if technically Double O has a bit of that too, but that's... I mean, it has a lot of enemies to lovers. How many enemies can you turn into lovers? Surely, surely one or two tops. You can't just if you keep turning enemies to lovers, you're gonna run out of enemies pretty quick. Wait, it's all one dude? It's all one dude? What? Who is he? Kirito? What harem? What Trinity 7 harem protagonist bullshit? Pardon my swearing. I'm terribly sorry, mortals. You should have covered your ears. I'm terribly sorry. Is this guy on? Like what? It's like, okay, there is that thing though, right? That trope of like applying the shonen principle of like, I defeated you, now you are my friend. That like I think gets applied in a couple of like battle harem shows, like high school battle harems, of like, I defeated you, now you are a love interest. You won't win because you're not the main girl, but you'll be around. I feel like that's a thing. I'm not sure if it is. I might be just talking complete nonsense, and the true weeaboos in the audience have just silently kind of like clicked off of the stream. They've shook their heads in disgust. They've gone, no. He knows nothing, the fool. Well, that's not interesting. That's not interesting, Garogaro. You're still here. Oh no, Yusha, if you're still here and you're still watching me, that must mean you're a fake weeb. No! No! Oh no. What have we done? What have I done to you guys? You've all become fake weebs by association. Now you have to watch all of those like now you have to watch all of those classic YouTube anime reviewer clips. Like you gotta watch Mother's Basement and Digibro and like the Trash Taste podcast. You gotta just kind of like immerse yourself in that anime YouTuber scene now, because you're all fake weebs. No. We are all of us doomed. I would rather die in Minecraft. I'm right there with you, Yusha. Man, the first time I met Mother's Basement was so awkward. You know what? You know what, Garo? Normally I'm excited to hear your exciting tales of people you've met. I'm going to brush completely over this because I don't care about Jeff Thu. That's his name, right? How do I remember that? I probably don't. I probably just named somebody random because I don't remember. Either I've stored that in my brain, which I hate, or you also talk to him, Yusha. What? Okay, listen, I had a phase. You have to understand, I had a phase. You have to understand, I had a phase. I did have a phase, though. Welcome, Cinescholar. I did have a phase. That kind of went a little bit after my so wow, Sword Art Online is the best anime ever phase. When I was still young and my brain was still developing, I did have a phase where I believed everything they ever said. Like channels like Mother's Basement and Digibro and stuff like that. Like, I would just like mindlessly watch their content and accept it as truth. I did have a phase like that. I'm very ashamed of it. I'm very, very ashamed of it. I'm very ashamed of it. This was the phase. Okay, so this is honestly still why I have strong feelings about like internet content creators, because this was the phase where I accepted internet content creators as authority figures who would tell me what to believe and think about media instead of forming my own opinions. And which is why I am one of my worst fears in VTubing is to like present an opinion that then is uncritically accepted by an audience, which I know won't happen like at the moment with you guys, but like if I ever get big, which I won't, but if I do, I definitely don't want to like perpetuate that kind of thing, because it was a big life lesson for me, learning to formulate my own opinions and, you know, discuss them, but not like just blindly accept other people's ones. Because like Digibro was right in that Sword Art Online was bad. I didn't need him to tell me that, you know? Also, Go with friends to enemies to lovers. I've never seen that happen. Defending the fact that he doesn't bathe or brush his teeth. See, I haven't even heard about that. I'm purely discussing like anime opinions. I don't even know where you would find that information. I don't know where you would find that information. I don't know where that information would even be located. Either in like a personal video or on Twitter or something. But yeah, I did have a phase like that. Oh man, see, Goro and Yusha, you've just made anime conventions sound like 99% less appealing. I already wasn't 100% like enthralled with them. Just because like nervousness around like people. But it still would be like a place where like a lot of cool stuff that I like would be. But that does raise an interesting point about the kind of events these would be. And like how willing I would be to support them. All you need to know is anime YouTubers suck. I have known that for so long at this point. I have known that for so long. It's very true. I mean, I found like one or two, I think mostly like one. I found like one channel that does actually decent, that had an actually decent video that I mostly agreed with about the Hoseki no Kuni anime adaptation that I really liked, and then I bookmarked them. I followed them on the YouTube. I subscribed them, so I would get like the content in the feed, and then I haven't watched another video since. Yeah. A super weird power where I happen to meet the guest at cons in random places. Ah, so this is the power of Yusha's enemy stand. Yeah, even if a YouTuber like video essayist of any repute or like social clout is like, even if they are right, like it doesn't matter. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Basically, not to put any stock in them, I guess. Well, Hyena Farron, thank you for the sub. I really appreciate it. Welcome. Thank you so much for your support. Please enjoy the Wigglies. Yeah, anime YouTubers. I guess they fill a specific niche of the content creation, of the merciless content creation machine. And they are people with their own opinions. But like also, to heck with them, because I can say that and they can say that to me, and that's fine. Imagine getting, oh man, I have no desire to cause drama, but imagine getting big enough that like a big name anime YouTuber would like react to this and go like, well, you suck. That would be fun. I would enjoy that. I would enjoy that. That being degraded in that manner would be comical. It ain't about being right, and the good video essays are ones written that way. Too true. Just when it comes to like opinions on video game, like there's a different like obviously there's certain collective metrics, but we all have our own different values and opinions and emotional attachments to subjects, which creates inherent bias in all of us. So ultimately, the only thing you can do with the video essay is like you know, present your own opinion, like a regular essay. I'm waiting for the day I blow up to trash talk and hear about how much I dislike them. Oh, Yisha, I mean, you are 100% going to blow up. So like, that day will come, and it will be very sweet. And I'll never find out about it because I don't listen to their dumb podcast. I have zero interest in it. Wait, was it Trash Talk or Trash Taste, or are they like two separate podcasts? I'm not familiar with the entire anime. Like, I'm so in passing with the entire anime YouTube sphere at this point. I just enjoy the stuff. Speaking of which, I've been listening to. I found the Death Note soundtrack on Spotify. And whoo boy, it's very good. And a lot of the songs aren't particularly memorable in like you remember them from the show. Obviously, there are exceptions like Elle's theme, but listen, there's three for the entire anime. There's like 3 volumes of soundtracks, and there's a lot of songs that like play maybe a couple of times tops that are just very good. Have you listened to the Death Note Broadway soundtrack? When are you going to watch the Death Note musical? I have listened to the Death Note. I haven't watched it, but I've listened to the Broadway soundtrack. And watching the Death Note musical would require watching in like Japanese or I think Korean, because there hasn't been an English actual production of it. But they did do an original cast recording in English. Do you want me to karaoke some? Do you want me to karaoke some? Do you want me to like scuffed kind of impromptu just like sing one? I'll play the original track and sing over it. Because when I first found out about this. Because when I first found out about this, there was one I couldn't stop listening to. Also, I actually do have some thoughts about it via the character design in that, like, the very first song that introduces the character of Light Yagami in the Broadway musical, who was written by an actual Broadway music person who, like, only agreed to do it because their kid liked Death Note and told them to do it. But they kind of missed the character of Light, because in the original... I think it's also a difference in values between Americans and Japanese, because in the character introduction song for Light in the Broadway musical of the Death Note, they present Light as being like Light kind of like makes an argument for like, what about all the criminals that don't end up behind bars because like lawyers get them off? Where's the justice? And it's like the original Light Yagami in Japan was obviously in the original Death Note was obviously like he had incredible faith in the system. He never doubted that like an innocent person would be like in jail for them, would be like out of jail, and like guilty people would be in jail for the most part. There's like one time where he kills somebody not in the current criminal system as a way of proving who he is to Ray Penber, but yeah, no, they kind of got his character. It was kind of a miss for his character. But aside from that, the music is very good. So now that I'm done rambling it, let me look up playing his game. And let me see if I remember it still enough. Oh my god, the complete 2015 English concept album, New York cast. I mean, yeah, it's just like a major, like, it's probably not that big of a deal. It just paints Light Yagami / Kira in an entirely different light, in terms of character and motivation. Obviously it's not as egregious as the Death Note Netflix film, which I did watch. And that's, the less said about that one, the better. So, okay, I've got this, I've got the lyrics. Okay, this is going to go, listen, this is going to go very, very poorly. It's interesting. It's interesting because it did become like a full, like we did the concept album, but it never played in like the US. They didn't do like a full production in America. I've never heard of Jeremy Jordan before outside of this Garagaro. So if you know like more of their stuff that you want to like link me afterwards, please do. So I found the Death Note. Okay, so this is when they're playing tennis. Wait. Yeah, this is when they're playing tennis. I'm pretty sure. Or is it... Or is it stalemate? Hold on, I have to listen to I have to listen to these. I have to listen to these and figure out which one is which. I'm muting the headphones for a second. Hokuto no Ken and Your Lie in April. Wait, is he just doing? Did somebody's kid getting them to do a Death Note musical turn them into like the one who does anime adaptations to Broadway? Yeah, no, stalemate is no, it's not stalemate. It's his playing his game. I knew it. Yeah. So that's wild. That's wild. The Fist of the North Star, Your Lie in April. Wow. Fair enough. Call me when he does another anime that I've seen. Because I will adore it almost certainly. Okay, so I need to breathe. I need to breathe. I always kind of like work myself up into an excitable state when I'm streaming, and I forget to take deep breaths. So I kind of end up hyperventilating and not having like very good breath control for singing, like even worse than I usually do. Because I always like I don't want to feel any silence, right? I want to keep talking, make the content maker. But I do need to just take a second to breathe and just shut up. So I guess I will wiggle a bit side to side while I do so. I'm going to butcher this song. You're gonna think the Death Note killed it. Okay. Time to rethink and begin with a brand new game plan. Margin for error is slim. It's so good. He's on the brink. He can win. I can't use the same plan. Time to start thinking like him. The timing is so good. I can't do it. What would I do if I got inside his head? Thought like him instead. Could it be possibly I'll catch him when I look through his eyes, see what he sees, then improvise until I can learn what puts him at ease. I'll walk in his shoes as long as it takes. So deep in my bones I'm sure he is one and the same as the me who is playing his game. Okay, I don't have the range for this vocally. I have to go all deep. What does he do late at night when the world is sleeping? Does he see pixels, not dreams? Hard to be true, always right, all that promise keeping. Harder, I'm sure, than it seems. I know, right, Kamayana? How would it be if I saw the world like him, like a synonym? Bit by bit, wit by which, catch him I win. I'll mimic his will and learn his routines and feel the same thrill whenever my end is served by his means. I'll walk in his shoes as long as it takes. So deep in my bones I'm sure he is one and the same as the me who is playing his game. I used to be a soprano, I'm so mad. I must be ever so careful. Don't move until you are ready. He will be careful to know it. Always stay calm and collected. Don't lose your cool or you'll blow it. Then he will unravel you. Get into his head and under his skin. The things that he said, the food that he likes, the places he's been. I'll look through his eyes and see what he sees, till I see the forest, not just the trees. I'll mimic his will and learn his routines and feel the same thrill and know what it means. I'll walk in his shoes as long as it takes, till deep in my bones I'm sure I'm winning my game while I'm saying I'm playing his game. Okay, so yeah, ignore my rendition of it. Please go listen to the original. It's very good. Ignore my butchering, please. Like, it's actually, like, I understand that what you just heard was terrible, but I promise it's a really, 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 really good song. And it's also the only duet between Light and Elle in the musical that has no one else singing in it, as far as I'm aware. Unless it's like the final one does. But I think that's got like a group thing. It's hard living up to Jeremy Jordan. You did good. I wouldn't live up to a... listen. I would have trouble living up to like a high school... like a local high school rendition of Death Note the musical. You thought Stalemate was just Light and Elle. No. No, it's not. And I know this. Because there is a bit in it, because I listened to it a bunch, and there's a bit in it. There is a bit in it, where Misa sings. Yep, I can just confirmed it. Yeah, Misa's bit, exactly. I know you're gonna love my brand new song. It's full of private little hidden clues, so we can find each other in a crowd, and when we do, you know I'm yours to use. So good, right? Like the music combined with the writing is just... It's a very good musical. In terms of, like, obviously I have some quibbles with the plot, and the fact that it, like, wraps up Death Note way too quick, obviously, because it has to have an ending, and it doesn't, you know, cover the entirety of the first arc of Death Note. I mean, the first, like, act, Light vs. Elle, it doesn't cover the fullness of that, which I am sad. I wish it was, like, 2 full musicals. But in terms of the songs, pretty godly. Pretty godly. I listened to Playing His Game for like a month when I first listened to it. When I first found it existed. I was like, wait, what? What? Basically, like, There's a reason why Death Note is still so popular, right? And it's because Death Note was amazing. Like, Death Note is a really, 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 really good anime. Death Note was really, 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 really good. You'd probably really like his songs in the Tangled show. He did some songs in the Tangled show? Oh, I might know them. I might know them. I know some songs from the Tangled show. Wait, hold on. He's Varian. Oh, that's where the voice was familiar from. Oh. Oh, I have a friend who, like, watches the show, who, like, linked me all the good songs. Believe me, I know I've sunk pretty low, but whatever I've done, you deserved. Yeah, he's so good in that. Especially like the last big one, which is like a duet, Nothing Left to Lose. I'm just thinking about musical songs now, and I'm just well, I just like a good, listen, I like me a good musical song that's very good. So did, okay, so which one did, yeah. Oh, just, good musical songs. Good musical songs I will take. I will take a million, okay. Disney, what's going on with your musical situation? I went and watched the last, like, big Disney flick that I watched was, like, Big Hero 6, and that just had an insert song of a Fall Out Boy track. And I did love me some Fall Out Boy back in, like, what, 2015, but still, why not a superhero musical? If Spider-Man turn off the, if Spider-Man turn off the dark, I think that's what it's called. If Spider-Man can have a musical, then why cannot Disney do the superhero musical? Why? Why this? Like, but then again, no, I'm not gonna blame Let It Go for, like, I'm not gonna blame Let It Go for the terribleness of Frozen in Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm just not gonna do it, even though they included the entire song again with Sora, Donald, and Goofy in the background. I've also never seen Frozen. I just know the songs from it. I've never seen, there's a lot of I've seen plenty of Disney movies. The ones that I haven't seen, I still likely know musical songs from them from my YouTube era. Spider-Man was more of a Vegas musical than a Broadway one. I'm not really up to date on the detailed differences between Vegas and Broadway musicals, but that sounds fascinating. There was also, like, they had to, like, redo the musical, didn't they? And I'm pretty sure Phoenix Wright got a musical, but that's a Japanese musical. And the thing is for me is that, like, musicals are probably one of those pieces of art forms where, like, for me it's absolutely got to be in English. Just because, like, then I can appreciate the wordplay that, like, populates so many good musical tracks that I really love. Like because, like, with the translation you just don't get the same punch, you know? Vegas musical is about big special effects and crazy set pieces, less focus on the songs and performances. So it's terrible. So Vegas does bad musicals. I see. So they do atrocious musicals. I see. I understand. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't be mean to Vegas. But, like, the crazy set pieces and special effects are nothing. Like, they're nothing. They're not even anything. Please, more songs. More good songs, please. If you can't listen. If you can't, in your musical, put a song that, like, gets as stuck in my head as What Is This Feeling did for Wicked, when I first saw Wicked, when Wicked came to town as when Carmine was a little wee lad and watched it. If you can't get a song in your musical that sticks into my head as much as that did, it's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna fawn over you, musical. It's not gonna do it. It's not gonna do it for me. And playing his game from Death Note Musical definitely did that. It definitely did that for me. The thing about like when there's like a Broadway, or well, not Broadway, but like a stage musical, that also has an associated Disney musical, is I'll just always, the animated one, I'll always refer to the animated musical. I'll always refer to the animated musical, just because of the way that I am as a human being. Oh, musicals are so good. Like, listen, mortals, if you are if at any point you are holding out on me, like if you are holding out on me with a good original cast recording that you like a good original cast recording that you've got like stashed away that you haven't shown me, if you're sitting on any of that, tribute it to my DMs, please. Thank you. Or the angry god king of musicals, Carmine, will deliver his wrath upon you, because like it's just, there's nothing like no regular like regular music will give you a regular music, like listening to really good regular music in the background of everything, that will give you a good musical time, a good vibe. It will vibe check you, it will set your vibe. A good musical original cast recording will take you on a story journey. And just like a single song from the track will tell a tale, a narrative tale interwoven with good music, with character development and or establishment, and just very, very good. It's very, very good. It's very, very good. It is a very, 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 very good art form. And it does live in my, like, I'm not this, because I never went full theater kid. I'm like the daywalker of theater kids, because I never got to go full theater kid. So there's plenty of musicals I don't know, but when I think about musicals, they're lodged in my brain pretty powerfully. It's just I wish I could see them more often. Have you watched the SpongeBob one yet? I'm gonna say a thing and I need chat to not freak out. I'm going to say a thing and I'm going to say a thing and I need chat to not freak out, but I'm not that into SpongeBob SquarePants. He's a little bit after my time. I really appreciate him, and I enjoyed the SpongeBob SquarePants movie as a kid, but I've never been like an avid SpongeBob watcher, and so I haven't seen the musical yet. Carmine, did you just hum a few notes of a full-fledged Heavenswood Broadway adaptation? None of it. I just did actually. I did kind of like laugh a few notes of full-fledged, like hum, giggle a few notes of Heavenswood. Not a Broadway adaptation, but if you want, if you're looking for somebody to take Final Fantasy XIV to the stage, I'm your man. Okay, so we'll start with A Realm Reborn, obviously, because we can't make Heavenswood until we've made A Realm Reborn. The problem is that we've got to fit, if we want to make Heavenswood the second one, we've got to fit the entirety of A Realm Reborn into... We've got to fit an entirety of Realm Reborn into one musical. Which means that the entire... that in a two-act production, the entirety of base A Realm Reborn is going to be Act 1, and then everything past that up to the Bloody Banquet is Act 2. It could start in Medias Res. Honestly, you know what? You're right. Nope, Kamayana. You're 100% right. We should start with Heavenswood. We're ditching the drag. Realm Reborn was very good, very necessary. We're in the realm of musicals. We're making adaptations. We're making changes. Not everything's going to stay with it. We can make cuts. We can do this. We can start with Heavenswood. We have the excuse now. We're definitely not like skippers or secondaries just for doing that. We'll start Heavenswood. Okay. Obviously, it has to have... Okay, so obviously, what I'm picturing is... Yeah, see, that's what... Goro, I was just about to say. Okay, so you know the opening song of Wicked? You know the opening song of Wicked? Like, No One Mourns the Wicked? That kind of sets up the plot of the musical. Obviously, like, this isn't like a thing exclusive to Wicked. A lot of musicals do it. Hamilton has the Alexander Hamilton song that like sets up the backstory of the main character, much like Wicked does for like Wicked. The thing is with like No One Wants the Wicked is it's set after the entire story, and it's like and it also tells the story of the beginnings of before the story while also being set after the Wicked Witch is dead, which is very good. So what I'm thinking is the big opening number is the story of like it explains the story of A Realm Reborn, and it like gives you it's a song that like gives the audience the basic lore grounding required for them to follow along with the plot that we're gonna write. So obviously it'll be very important. We're probably gonna have to change it a lot depending on how we write the we're going to have to change it a lot depending on how we write the remainder of Heavensward, because Heavensward is a pretty, I mean, obviously what I'm thinking of in terms of general structure, up until the fight with Needhogg, that's Act 1, when Needhogg's defeated halfway through. By the way, spoilers for FF14 Heavensward. Why haven't you played it already? Up until the fight with Needhogg, that's Act 1. Everything after that, Act 2. So there's a couple of things. So obviously, the actual arrival in Ishgard, I'm not sure if okay, but what gender race is the WLL Warrior of Light gonna be? That's the beauty of it, Garo. You know how Matilda has like how when Matilda came to like various places, they had like 4 Matildas because of like child actor rules and stuff like this. So like 4 different like child actresses would play Matilda on different nights. And like obviously even in big productions, like the main characters have understudies. The Warrior of Light will change from night to night. The Warrior of Light will change from night to night in terms of like honestly I'm thinking like actually wait, no, that will create I was gonna that sounded like a good idea in my head, but now I'm thinking like we gotta compose the songs, right? And obviously the musical registers of the male and female voices are different, so it will impact what we can actually write. And the big thing about the Warrior of Light is, right, that they're a silent protagonist. So how are we gonna make that work in the context of a musical? Are they going to sing an I Want song? The famous silent head nodder of Final Fantasy XIV Myth and Legend. You have to make them not silent. Ooh, this is going to throw us into a hornet's nest of controversy if we start like characterizing the Warrior of Light. Like that's gonna I'm gonna draw the line. Okay, we're allowed to characterize them and make them not silent. I'm going to draw the line at naming them. They will only be known as the Warrior of Light. Persona musicals make you and Ren not silent. This is fair. This is fair. This is fair. So we're going to make them not silent. We're not allowed to name them. They're still the Warrior of Light. They're still the Warrior of Light. We're not naming them. They don't need to be named. They work fine in the FF14 story like voice without like names. They have titles. Okay, so okay. So when it comes to like race, it's got to be. I'm thinking here. I'm thinking like poster boy, like Warrior of Light, kind of like on the bottom. I mean, obviously, in terms of job for Heavensward, they're a dragoon. They're a dragoon, because obviously that means we can give them a duet with Estinian, just entitled the Azure Dragoons. Obviously, we need to do that. I've come up with a great bit of adaptional brilliance. So you know how in the actual Final Fantasy, obviously when you level up to Dragoon, actual Final Fantasy XIV, when you level up Dragoon, the Dragoon job quests explicitly take place before Heavensward. They have to, by way of the integration with the plot. You know, but in the trailer for Heavensward, in like the opening for Heavensward, you see like the warrior, like the stand-in Warrior of Light, in like warrior job gear, basically like come to Ishgard and then become a dragoon, right, and like suit up in dragoon gear. what if we do it... What if we kind of take elements from the Dragoon training? What if we take elements from the Dragoon training from the Dragoon job quest in Base or Realm Reborn, and instead we have Estinian train the Warrior of Light in the Dragoon job while they're on the road with Alphino? Because that's like... Because you're with Estinian, like, for the entire first act. And it gives Estinian a bit more of a mentor role, which is really going to provide some emotional catharsis in the second act. Oh no, I didn't even think about this, but we're not going to cover the Dragon Song War arc. We're not going to cover the post-Heavensward quests, because we're going to have the first part... if we make it a 3-act... We can't make it a 3-act one, can we? Is that a thing we can do? I don't think we'd have room. We only have to fit the entirety of Heavensward story in there. I think if we add... but that means that there's not going to be a resolution to Estinian's character. This is tough. Adapting an MMO for the stage and screen... no, well, just stage, is tough. It's tough. It's tough. I mean, there is a cop-out answer. Wait, there's a cop-out answer? I don't know if I like a cop-out answer, but I'm surprised that you've thought of one. Original story, whole musical is a side adventure for the Warrior of Light. No, okay, no, we're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. We started this, I appreciate it, but we started this with the very specific pitch of we're adapting Heavensward. We're not just gonna like make it a side musical. And I'm also really fond of my idea of Estinian teaching the Warrior of Light how to be a Dragoon in the first act. Because there can be like a training like montage song that features both, like, I'm thinking like Estinian, Alphino, Warrior of Light all singing in it. Alphino is like, you know, the gathering firewood and all that kind of stuff. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's actually good. We can montage the segment of the game that takes place. What if we montage? Okay, so if we want to cover the whole thing and provide emotional resolution, what I'm kind of thinking is if we can press. There isn't a good. I was thinking if we compress the journey with Estinian, Alphino, and Asael in like through two areas into one single like montage song. I'll make a man out of you. But then like I feel like, okay, but see the thing is about that is that like, first of all, if we crush down that Act 1, they'd have to like I know nothing about the background like thing of musicals. This is just off the top of my head, Garo. I know nothing about how they're constructed. I probably would love the channel though. Yo, Carmine, what are you talking about? We're adapting the acclaimed Final Fantasy XIV expansion Heavensward into a musical. So yeah. If the thing is, if we crush down the first act, we're going to end up not like if we crush that down through the montage, like we're not going to end up having enough content before the fight with Needhog. And then, like, it's going to become lopsided unless we do the Dragon Song War. No, Garo, I don't open tabs when I'm on stream. Like for later. You'll have to DM me later. Tough. But, what, what am I thinking of? Yeah. So we could even if we crush it down, and like extend it so that like the first you know it become too unbalanced. There's not enough in the actual like subsequent Dragon Song War arc to like which is like half, which is like it would be resolved in like 3 patches. There's not enough in the 3 patches to kind of like substitute, like substantiate an entire Act 2 on par with the entirety of Heavensward. But also, if we make that a montage, if we make that a 4-part, a 4-singer montage sequence, we miss out, like that kind of stretch of time covers Ravana. So we'd have to miss out on giving Ravana a song, unless we have the montage start taking place after Ravana. I'm a genius. I'm a genius. No, we're not cutting out Iceheart. I've got it. We're not cutting out Iceheart. Iceheart is staying. We're not cutting out Iceheart. We can adaptively change her, but she's staying. But I've got it. I've got it. Okay, so there's the opening song. They arrive in Ishgard. There's a song about their arrival in Ishgard, and and we're probably going to cut the introduction to like the first 2 areas, including like the cloud tops. We can get to that later. So it probably goes straight from Ishgard into the action in the like hunting down the heretics, and the whole team up with Estinian and Alphino and Izel. Now, we don't accelerate time at all. We kind of like go through that a bit. Maybe we speed it up a bit, but we don't like montage song it until the next big song. Like the next song is the fight against Ravana. Is the next song after the song of like arriving to Ishgard, introducing the concept of Ishgard. The fight against Ravana is the first song they have after they go out on the adventure. Let me pitch it first. Let me pitch it and then I'll name the song, Ciaro. So in the song where Izel and the Warrior of Light fight against Ravana, the Warrior of Light's axe breaks. The Warrior of Light's axe breaks during the fight against Ravana, which is what gets Estinian to start teaching the Warrior of Light the way of the lance, because he's brought a spare. And that's how we follow up the Ravana song, the Ravana fight song, with the montage. So we can do the montage, but we're going to cut out how much it covers. Because okay. So it'll be a song. Okay. Yeah, I know, right? I'm so good. Also, welcome, Nishi KE10. I don't have a barber. I cut my bangs myself, but thank you. Okay, so in terms of songs, we have the big opening song. Sets up the plot so far. The story so far, the story to come. Arrival in Ishgard song, setting up Ishgard very strongly. The adventure begins, and then there's the fight against Ravana. That's like the 3rd song. Then we have the montage song. And I would like to cut... I don't know how you guys feel about this. I would like to devote a song to the Mughals. We can maybe cut it for time. So that would be the 5th song. A song covering like the Mughals in the Dravanian hinterlands. And then there's obviously going to be a song explaining the... There's going to be a song sung by Reisvelga about the dark origins of the Dragon Song War. And that's song 5, and that's song 6. 5 if we cut the Mughals. How many songs are usually in a musical? How many songs can we fit in one act? How many songs are usually in one act of a musical? When does Hildebrand show up? We're cutting him for time, obviously. Hildebrand is the narrator. No, okay, no, I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Yes, this is good. Which means Hildebrand is like the main, like singer of the opening number, and like he's constantly making asides to the audience. Yes, this is good. This is very good. That is actually very good, Garagara. Okay, so hold on. Let me just draw up a notepad. Okay. Actually, hold on. I can do it text-wise. I can do it actually like through my thing. Add source. Text. Okay. So I can actually do text. Okay. Let me know if I have to increase the text size. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, I'll write the description, like incredibly brief, like 1 or 2 word descriptions, and then song names. Opening expository. Okay. The number 2 is... Number 3 would be... Right, who sings them? Oh, okay, hold on. Number 4, before I like forget about them. Training. Oh. Training. Montage. Number 5. Moogle song. Number 6. Dragon Song or Origins. And then obviously number 7 has got to be the fight with Needhog. I don't know if we're going to expand it all, but that seems like our first act at the moment. Warrior of Light would have to have beat Ravana by the skin of his teeth in order to warrant a job change. I have literally said the axe literally breaks. Like there's a whole thing of like the training montage will start with the Warrior of Light going, I wasn't strong enough. And yeah, like it'll start like that. Like both okay, so the actual like montage scene will start with like a sort of like simultaneous like duet-ish but with Isel and Warrior of Light, because in the original, right, Isel fails and then Warrior of Light beats Ravana. In our version, Isel fails and then Warrior of Light only barely beats Ravana. Like it might be like the Destinian comes in clutch. Like we might alter it so the Destinian comes in clutch, but like basically they'll both be dealing with the concept of like not being strong enough to see their ideals through, and so they're both being kind of mopey about it, and that's what leads in. That's like the opening couple of bars. Opening verse, and that's what leads in to the like we will train. The axe prop shatters, and all that's left is the handle and a pointy bit of metal at the end. Ooh, yes. Okay, so opening expository Warrior of Light, sung by narrator Hildebrand and all cast, because it's a big opening number. Arrival in Ishgard is sung by the axe shattering has to be a big prop thing, like the chair part for the end of Phantom. I'm more familiar with original cast recordings than I'll leave the effects design to you guys. For the Arrival in Ishgard, who should we actually have it sung by? Because in terms of like singing parts, I would like to give Tataru a song at one point. But like, and like she's there for it, so narratively it makes sense. But I'm not sure how much sense that makes. I'm not sure how much sense that makes in terms of like introducing Ishgard tonally. Oh, of course it's Oshafon. Of course it's Oshafon. We need to introduce Oshafon in the early start of the. We've got to give. Surely we've got to give him a bit of a reprise in the second act. Okay, so. Also, Aymeric must get something somewhere. The only number he gets a solo, rather. Okay, sung by Harshafont solo. Have I spelled his name right? I hope so. Ravana fight. Sung by... Okay. Aymeric and Alphino will have small parts in the second song, I think. Okay. So, like sung by Hoshafont lead, Americ and Alphino parts. Like that. Also, I've not put the D there. Place the D. So with the Ravana fight, I'm thinking Ravana will lead it, obviously, but there will be parts for the Warrior of Light and Azel. Backups. Yep. This is why I need you guys. You know the terminology. I'm just a man with I'm just the idea guy. Okay, so Ravana fight is gonna be sung by Ravana lead, Wall and Azel backup. Wall and Ravana duet, obviously. I'm gonna argue that Azel gets to. Okay, because this is the thing, right? Because either we're introducing. Okay, I want your opinions on this, guys. Either we're because I love the idea of a Warrior of Light and Ravana duet. I'm trying to decide if we should have a lead-in with Azel, where like she gets smacked down by Ravana on it, obviously. So we can either introduce Azel musically at the start of the Ravana fight, or in the aftermath of the Ravana fight. Like, which do we think is like a better introduction for the character in terms of like songs? Because like the character will have will have been in the story, but not have. Okay, lead in. Okay. Ravana fight, Warrior of Light, Ravana duet. Oh, and we can totally give the Warrior of Light, because this is the first time like the Warrior of Light's going to be like singing in like a major part. I think that I mean I'm not sure if we should include the Warrior of Light. I mean surely like, you know what? No, I'm gonna say like executive decision. We don't introduce the Warrior of Light in like we don't have the Warrior of Light sing in the first number. Just like in the first number of Wicked, Elphaba doesn't sing at all, even though the entire song is about her. I want to provide that kind of vibe. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So it's a song about the Warrior of Light, as much as it is about the exposition. So I feel like introducing like having the Warrior of Light, because like the Warrior of Light being this kind of, I feel like if in terms of characterization we could present the Warrior of Light as this kind of like mostly stoic character who like, you know, has a couple lines. It like is obviously pretty central, but we don't get deep into the nitty and gritty of their character until we get to the Ravana fight, and we like see them in the throes of combat with Ravana, and just like Ravana is reveling in the combat, the Warrior of Light is also reveling in it, and we kind of like play into that side of the proposed Warrior of Light character. Don't know how popular that idea is with you guys, but that's what I'm thinking for it. So that's a Warrior of Light Ravana duet with the first time Warrior of Light singing should be a big part of the song then for the Ravana fight. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, it'll go from Azel, and then Ravana will, like, absolutely destroy Azel, and then have his own bit. And then the Warrior of Light's response will kick in. And then they start like duetting in full swing in terms of like trading lines back and forth and like singing simultaneously. I'm thinking Azel verse, Ravana verse, Warrior of Light verse, mixed verses. Does that make? I don't know how to I don't know any of the technical know-how for what I'm describing, but it's what I feel in my heart. It's a nod to how NPCs kind of talk around us narratively, but the player's thrill is in combat. Yes, Kamuyara, you're on the wavelength. We're on the same wavelength. You get me. Okay. So training montage is obviously sung by. This is this is literally just sung by Zell. Wall. Estinian Alphino. And like I said, it's like a Isel and well lead in duet part to establish, you know, that they're kind of like self-doubting and in need of strength to draw upon. And by the end, they have like found like they throw themselves back into the quest. And then we have the Moogle song. And I'm not sure if we should cut this or not. We can leave it on the cutting room floor. But obviously it would be the Moogle song sung by Moogles. I don't know if we can fit this kind of levity in. If we wanted to like go full like messing around with it, a fun thing would be to like bring Tataru up into like the Moogle area. Because there is that one... You do go back... I think you do go back in the plot of Heavenswood. Welcome, Kuro is not salty. We're turning the Heavenswood expansion for FF14 into a musical. I think in Heavenswood, you do go back to, like, Gridania. You go back to Gridania to get the Seed Seer to go just, like, oh, there's Moogles here. So we could, like, bring Tataru in there. We can bring Tataru in there and, like, have her do a song with the Moogles. But I feel like that's a bit extravagant. I think you can fight a Warrior of Light self-doubting solo before the training montage. No, I feel like we can fit this all into one song, but it's a big I fit a self-doubting solo before the training montage. I feel like it's one. I feel like we can do it in one song. It's just got to be a big number, you know. Talking about Heavenswood. Welcome, Nuka Carmen. Welcome back. Hi. I hope things are going well. At your working thingamajig. We're turning Heavenswood into a musical. Warrior of Light should have a solo early. They should have a solo early, because see, when I think of like a solo in terms of like solos for the Warrior of Light, I would think that like post Orchafont, like maybe not even post Orchafont, but like arriving in Aziz La, like maybe then. Moogle song should stay. A Lighthearted song is a perfect follow-up. If the Warrior of Light should have a solo early, where would we put that? If we're not going to, if we don't have it be the self-doubting solo, no, because it's got to be after that, because we want to introduce the Warrior of Light in the Ravana fight. The thing is, the thing that I'm thinking of, Gyaro, is that if we do it like how proposed, we would do the Ravana fight. We would do Ravana fight. Okay, the thing is the affirmation comes. We'll have to. Okay. It would go the Ravana fight, and then the training. It would go the Ravana fight, and then the self-doubting solo, and then the training montage. So we're gonna have to rework the training montage if we do that, which we can do. I just really was kind of married to the idea of like the Isel and Warrior of Light duet kind of thing. Do we want to break it down and maybe give like Alphino a song with Isel? Ravana fight and training montage are two big songs back to back. Okay, so we want to break that up, basically. I see what you mean. But we are going to have to rework the training montage a little bit. I think if the self-doubting one ending with an affirmation is what we're going to do to fit between them. Welcome, Meiji Craft. Thank you for stopping by. This is an awesome topic. Can I get a quick rundown of how it would go? Sure thing, Nuka Commons. So, obviously, it's all very much in flux. The basic concept thus far, as it's like written on the screen, is we have an opening expository number, like the Warrior of Light shows up. Like, I'll trust in your judgment, Go. The Warrior of Light shows up and does rather, Hildebrand does a big number, an opening number, that explains the lore thus far, and like the adventure thus far that's happened with the Warrior of Light. So like, real triumphant until you get to the part where like everything's bad at the start of Heavenswood, and then we like go into the actual arrival in Ishgard. Harshfont sings it with Aymeric and Alphino backing up. We cut the first visit to the cloud, the flying islands area, and like we just go straight into the heretic hunting part, and then the next big song is the Ravana fight, Welcome, randomly Brom. I saw like how are you, and I was like, oh, it's randomly Brom. I'll say hi, and then I started reading from like my capture, and Garogaro's name was above yours, and I'm just so my brain is actually like I've broken it to go into overdrive to think about this, and I'm mentally both more alive and more dead than I've ever been. But welcome, randomly Brom. I hope that that didn't hurt your feelings or anything. Thank you so much for stopping by. The Ravana fight needs to be so cool with all the Vath singing. I hadn't even considered a Vath core, like a Vath backup singers. That is very good. So, idol Ravana. Now, I would love to see a Ravana do an idol song. So then that's supposed to go into the So to get back to just the recap of what we got so far, that's supposed to go into a training montage song. With Azel, Wall, Warrior of Light, Astinian, and Alphino. Then into the lighthearted Moogle song, and then we move into the darker Dragon song, War Origins. Obviously, so that's going to get sung by, I forget the name of Needhog's own sibling, Race Velga. And then the fight with Needhog, and that rounds out the first arc. So if we're going to up this number to 8, basically what we're going to do is we're going to have the new number 4, and I've obviously got to renumber every one of these. 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is perfect for the first act. Fantastic. Okay, so this is going to be a character solo. Okay. Self-reflection solo by Warrior of Light, and then that leads into the training montage. Now, I did want to just before we move on from this, how are we going to alter the training montage to if ultimately the self? Okay, so if we're going to have it be like a self-reflection song, obviously the Warrior of Light's going to reflect on. Generally, for 2-act musicals, there's 10 songs. God, I hope you were going to hit a number other than 0 on your keyboard, or we are going to run out of song capital very early in Act 2. Oh, 10 per act. Oh, okay. So we're actually short. Fantastic. We have room to put more in. And we might need to. So, looking at it like this, I would think that the way that the self-reflection song would end would be the Warrior of Light deciding to ask Astinian to train them in the lance, in the art of dragooning, which means that we're going to have to, I would say, we alter the way that the training montage opens. Instead of Azel and the Warrior of Light both doubting themselves at the start, obviously it should probably open with the Warrior of Light coming to Astinian for training, which means we just want to edit this part here. And change it to a Warrior of Light Astinian lead in. By the way, just to explain Neko Carmen, we have pitched it thus that during the Ravana fight, the Warrior of Light doesn't win completely and utterly like in the original game. It's more skin of the teeth. Possibly Astinian saves the day, but during the fight, Warrior of Light's axe gets completely shattered, and they start to doubt their ability to actually do this because their fight against Ravana was so close. So that's what leads into the self-reflection solo, and then they begin training as a dragoon. So we're altering the plot so unlike in the original game, you start training as a dragoon in Heavensward. Wallace determined Astinian is the tough love kind of coach. Azel thinks it's hopeless, but her opinion is turned by the end of the song. Take that, screen cap it, pin it to a pinboard. Yes. I don't even know how we're gonna do Mortals. I don't even know how we're gonna do Bismarck, but I'm excited to get to it. I'm gonna need to find the plot summary for Heavensward, because I'm getting so into this. I gotta refresh myself on the second act, as it were. So then after the training montage, we have the Moogle song, and the Moogle song is sung by Moogles, obviously. Now, the one idea that I floated earlier was if we want to so basically in the original Heavensward, You arrive at Moghome, I think it's called, and like nobody's there. And you go back to get the seeds here. So in this, Tataru shows up with this. I would say Tataru shows up instead, because like we should just cut the seeds here. In terms of like streamlining the plot, Tataru obviously would have already been there. I don't think we want to cut Tataru. So Tataru would have been there in the background. So now Tataru gets a song with the Moogles. The Moogle song. We don't have a name for it yet. We still have to name all these. I'd like to give them at least working titles before we move on to the second act. And then we have the Dragon Song War Origins sung by Race Velga. Now, I don't know exactly how we're going to do this. You could even have a great transition with a bunch of Moogles center stage and they break away to reveal Tataru. Garo, please, like, I should be the one noting this down. I really should. I'm going to, like, have to, like, record. It's a good thing that this stream is going to be archived and I will be able to refer back to it for notes because this is very juicy. This is something I can sink my teeth into. I love that idea. I was basically subconsciously thinking of something like that. The dramatic reveal. Okay, so with the Dragon Song War Origins, obviously, spoilers for Heavensward. The origins of the Dragon Song War are revealed to be because of a betrayal by humans in the past. And like the history behind things is unveiled. And it leaves a lot of the characters demoralized. Like all four of the warriors of light, but like the heroes rather. Whenever there's four or something, I just want to call them warriors of light. The four heroes get kind of demoralized by it. But should we have it March of the Moogles? All right, it's as good as anything. It's good too because it brings to mind. It's a similar kind of like name vibe as, you know, the Good King Moggle. It's very Moogle-like. So hold on. Let me just move myself down. Hi, I'm just moving myself down to give that more room. So with the Dragon Song War Origins sung by Race Velga, we're gonna want. The Race Velga is like the main singer because he's the one who narrates it in the game. The question is, do we want to do anything fancy with the actual song, like flashback wise? Do we want to have like? No, almost definitely. I want to introduce Nidhogg in this song, so to give him a bit of time before the fight with Nidhogg, which will be the next song. I want to at least introduce Nidhogg in a song. And I don't think there's anywhere we could put him in that isn't jarring unless we give him a villain song. Okay, Dragon Song War Origins is going to be a Race Velga and Nidhogg duet as Race Velga is telling his story and Nidhogg is reflecting upon the story. And Nidhogg is reflecting upon the past as well from a distant place. Does that work? Do you think that works? If this is a 2-act structure, you can fit a Nidhogg villain song. Yeah, see, that's the thing. The thing is just there needs to be a place to put it. Because if we do a Nidhogg villain song before the Dragon Song War Origins, we can't have Nidhogg reveal any of his original motivations in the song. So can we do a villain song that just introduces Nidhogg's dramatic, like his hatred? 2 songs after Dragon Song War and before fight with Nidhogg. We can't fit 2 songs. We can fit like one. We can fit a Nidhogg villain song. What about Steps of Faith? Nothing happens on the Steps of Faith. Steps of Faith the first Steps of Faith is in a realm reborn, and the final Steps of Faith is past where we're going to be ending the plot, which is against Thordan. You can fit 2. I said average 2-act structure is 10 songs per act. I know. I'm not talking about in terms of like Garagara. I'm not talking about in terms of I'm not talking about in terms of how many songs we can fit. I'm talking about in terms of nothing happens in the plot Nothing happens in the plot of any substance between finding out about the Dragon Song War origins and going to fight Nidhogg at the Eyrie. So we can at most fit like a Nidhogg villain song. Unless you want to give Nidhogg 2 villain songs. One immediately after. Okay, can we give Nidhogg a villain song between the arrival in Ishgard and the Ravana fight to kind of establish Nidhogg's presence? And that would be good for like introducing why they're going on this quest to hunt Nidhogg. It's okay, you can catch up on the VOD, Neka Carmen. You've had some very good contributory ideas. Nidhogg is singing to himself while the party is traveling to fight Nidhogg. That's very good. We're doing that. Also, by the way, Kamiana, I don't want to... I kind of skipped over your comment just because I've been talking it like a mile a minute. But after the Moogle number, everyone clears the stage except Isel, who ends with the one-liner. They're so fluffy. That's very good, and I like that. I just wanted to say that I appreciate that so much. Okay, so... Okay, so... I'm gonna have to change the numbers again. But okay. 3. And then 3 becomes 4. And then that becomes 5, 6. Oh, nope, that's Alpha now. 7. 8. 9. Okay, we're at 9. Bismarck should start with an airy vibe with wind instruments, then tons of percussions, almost tribal. Fuck, it's real war. Like, that is good. That is good. Bye bye, Neka Carmen. I hope you fare well. Bismarck fight is the opening for Act 2, 100%. Oh, I mean... do we have it? Because we gotta fit another 10 songs. We gotta fit another 10 songs in there. I need to... Hold on, let me just pull up the plot summary of... FF Wiki, what have you got for Heavenswood? I know you got something, you piece of technological website. Story. No, you don't? You have a plot... You have a full plot breakdown of FF10 on the wiki page for FF10, but you don't have one for Heavenswood? Oh no. I gotta find a plot summary and fast. I can't rely on my memory. Wait, hold on. Does Wikipedia have a bit... Wikipedia has a... Wikipedia has a more in-depth plot summary of Final Fantasy XIV Heavenswood than the Final Fantasy wiki. That's just very good. Let me just hold on. Let me just like put Act 1 and Act 2 in here. Act 1. Act 2. So that'll end up being 11. Bismarck. Okay. So for number 3, that's going to be Nidhogg Villain Song. I love how this was a joke and then it became deadly serious, which is a thing that it's that one particular energy that led to the impromptu D&D session, and I love it. Which of the first 2 songs is going to have the Heavens with him? Arrival in Ishgard, 100%. Arrival in Ishgard, for sure. And no, the Heavens with... Of course the Heavens with him is going to be in the Fight with Thornton song. For sure, for sure, for sure. Absolutely, 100%. Nidhogg Villain Song. Sung by... Nidhogg solo. This is a solo for Nidhogg. All right, and then we have Dragon Song War Origin sung by Raise Velga. 9. So there's gonna be 2 Nidhogg villain songs, and they're basically gonna happen in the background while other stuff happens. So for the Nidhogg villain song, this is when they're the first one. They're going to head out and fight Nidhogg, which leads into the Ravana fight. Now, in the next one, in the one after Dragon Song War Origins, that's going to be when they basically leave behind Race Velga, and Estinian and the Warrior of Light go off to confront Nidhogg while Isaiah leaves. Let me just double check the Wikipedia plot thing. Race Velga, Rajatoska, okay. Race Velga ultimately refuses to abet peace. Yep, it just goes immediately straight up to the fight. So yep, 9 is Nidhogg Villain Song 2, Electric Boogaloo, Nidhogg Solo. So with these two songs, okay, so the first song, okay, so the first song is going to be about his rage, right? Just about like this is when we know little about Nidhogg. We just know that he's the main antagonist and that he's like fighting a vicious, hateful war against the you know, the people of Ishgard. And then the second villain song occurs right after we've gotten his tragic backstory, and it's more mournful, and we get more second song name Coming to Ishgard. All right. Okay. It's the name of the quest. It is the name of the quest. I do know that. Okay. So, I mean, we could also call it the Falling Snows of Ishgard, just as a reference to that one time where after you've like, at the end of A Realm Reborn, when Hoshafont gives you shelter, he refers to that one spot at Camp Dragonhead as, you know, the Falling Snows. Because, you know, the rising the rising stones, the waking sands, the falling snows of Ishgard. Coming to Ishgard is very good, though. Now, so yeah, the second Nidhogg solo is much more mournful and much more based than like what we know of his character now. And then we have the fight with Nidhogg, where Estinian kills him real good. So basically, this one will be obviously sung by Estinian Nidhogg. And Estinian's just gonna slay him. And I believe that at the end of the fight with Nidhogg, yeah, okay, so he's gonna slay him. He's gonna be fine. End of the fight with Nidhogg. They think everything's fine, and then okay, they're slain. Okay, we can't actually open. Okay, so the thing is, Gyaro, we can't actually open with Bismarck. Are we allowed to open the second act in Medias Res? Is the thing. Are we allowed to do that in Medias Res? Because the way the plot goes in Heavenswood, I mean, I guess we can swap around the order of events, but the way the plot goes in Heavenswood is we arrive back. The thing is, we'll be skipping over a very important plot, because as soon as you arrive back in Ishgard, right, Thordan reveals that he knew all the entire time, and that he's really the true villain. Like, Nidhogg is Act 1 villain. Thordan is Act 2 villain. Obviously, like, Nidhogg will come back, but, so we're going to, like, if we open with, like, basically, Thordan reveals himself to be the villain. That doesn't need to be a song, that can just be the end of Act 1. Okay, but the thing is, okay, yeah, Garo, the thing is that, like, if we start with Bismarck, Thordan reveals he's the big bad, curtains close. Okay, but no, he reveals, okay, he literally, okay, in the actual game, he reveals that he's the big bad in, like, a massive, like, dramatic fashion. By, like he can reveal, like, obviously if we can present it so that he reveals he's the big bad before the end of Act 1, like, to the audience. In terms of, like, how he reveals it to the characters in the original plot, he reveals it, Emmerich like goes and deals with him, and there's a big like a battle, and during which Haurchefant is killed. So like and then you have to go in pursuit of Thornton and his airships, which requires you to deal with Bismarck. Now, if we do this, if we start with the fight against Bismarck, we're skipping over like an incredibly pivotal sequence of plot elements. If we just go straight from, and I definitely want there to be there's got to be a song in there, right? Yeah, it's not just that Haurchefant's death is big, but if you start us off with Bismarck, like, I understand the idea, like, this is why I ask if we could do it in Medias Res, because if we started off with Bismarck, we've got nowhere to go. Because we got to squeeze out 10 songs post-Nidhogg death. We got to squeeze out 10 songs out of the betrayal of Thornton, dealing with Bismarck, arriving in Azislar, dispatching and dispatching. I think we should cut the Asians for time, and dispatching Thornton. Bismarck wasn't important. Oh, okay, no, okay. So Bismarck wasn't important, Garagaro. So if we want to do it, we can change the game. We can change the order of plot sequences if we want, so that Bismarck happens for, like, they arrive back in Ishgard, and they still haven't like they don't immediately do. Yeah. So like instead of the original where they just arrive and back and they're like, hey, everything's a lie, and Thornton reveals his evil plan. There's a bit more of a time skip, and the Warrior of Light basically has gone out to deal with Bismarck for the. Okay. So yeah, so we're moving Bismarck to before. We're moving Bismarck. Yeah, so it'll be a time skip. We're basically creating a time skip in the Heavensward story where there was no time skip before. And we're putting Bismarck there. And so that'll be a Bismarck. So who's even going to sing the Bismarck song? It's going to be a big number. Should it be like an all like how are we gonna do this? Is this obviously Esel's gone. Warrior of Light's gonna feature pretty heavily, I would think. But like, is it just like another like Bismarck's not gonna sing, is he? Because Bismarck is a big whale. Bismarck is a big whale. Bismarck doesn't talk. The original Bismarck fight theme is a pure instrumental. We don't need Bismarck to sing. So yeah, if it's not just gonna be, yeah, it's gonna just be Warrior of Light and his buddies. So I'm thinking like that, like Warrior of Light. In this instance, like Warrior of Light, Astinian, Alphino. You know what? We can't use Azael, but what if it's like a joint op by Warrior of Light, Warrior of Light, Alphino, Astinian, and Emmerich. To give Emmerich and Haurchefant. I want to give Emmerich and Haurchefant some like more time, especially like in Act 2. Like that'll give them more focus, right? If we put them in the Bismarck fight, because if we are messing around with it. Warrior of Light, Haurchefant, and Emmerich, just those three. Yes. I was like, there's no way you've got anything better than what I've got, which is everyone. But no, you've stripped away the unnecessary elements because we just spent so much time with Alphino, and oh boy, that's awesome. Okay, high energy Bismarck fight. Wall, Haurchefant, Emmerich. I like this a lot, but also I'm just going to move over to the corner because this is becoming untenable on a physical level. There we go. Okay, so we've got the high energy Bismarck fight, Warrior of Light, Haurchefant, and Emmerich. Do that one. Hold on, let me just import like one of my... There we go. Under the text. Just to kind of make it easy to read. There we go. There we are. So that should be much more legible now than it was just playing over my background. Like, this really needs to be the song that sets in stone how close Hoshafon is to Aymeric and the Warrior of Light, and in turn the audience. Yes. We've laid the groundwork. We laid a little bit of the groundwork, a little bit of the character introduction in the Arrival in Ishgard song. This is when we really hammer the bond between these characters in and establish how like crucial Hoshafon is. Oh! I literally know what to call it too. I literally know what to call it too. I literally know what to call it as well. I know what to call it. I actually know what to call it. Oh, no way. Oh. Okay, so the name of it will be... A smile better suits a hero, because they are just like, they are having a blast. Because they are being like, yeah. Because they're all buddy and smiling. Arrival in Ishgard is like the Prince Ali of the first act. Oh boy. We might workshop the name. The end of the song, when they're not singing, should be the three of them reflecting on the time skip. Oh, 100%. 100%. That, like, we're gonna have to, like, draw, like, we're gonna have to, like, establish for the hold on, let me just put in here. Time skip. We are going to have to establish, for sure, at the, like, end of the song, like, how, like, it's been a couple of weeks, I would say, maybe a couple of months. They've been back in Ishgard. They've been kind of like cleaning up the remnants of the Dragon Song. Well, Ishgard is getting in a better position. Maybe there's a little bit of talk about like the church and setting up Thordan, just as a plot element, and like about how they've kind of grown closer over time. Because Aymeric, you know, like Aymeric and the Warrior of Light weren't 100% too super close at the start of Heavensward, not as much as Warrior of Light and Hoshafon is. So this is like a chance for like all of them to have grown closer together as they like went around doing stuff in Ishgard itself. And also I would say that like the Warrior of Light has really come into his own as a Dragoon. Like obviously, big thing about the fight with Nidhogg, it's 2 Dragoons versus a dragon. So like there will like the fight with Nidhogg is going to be like very much like it's the summit of of the Warrior of Light's training via the training montage into becoming like a Dragoon. But now he's improved his base level of Dragoon in combat. He didn't like drop the Dragoon thing when he walked like back into the city limits of Ishgard. He's really come into it. A nice group number in the Forgotten Night pub, maybe. You know what? We do need 10 songs. We do need 10 songs. Listen, Kamuyana, that's actually genius, because we need 10 songs for the second act. Let's have that pub number. Let's really drive home just how good things are. Let's just really drive us home how good things are. Because in the opening expository song, obviously it starts out chronicling the Warrior of Light's adventures, but because of the way it describes the plot, it has to like the Warrior of Light, it basically shows that the Warrior of Light is arriving in Ishgard at a low point. And then they're rising and rising and rising. Okay, and there's like a rising action throughout the first act, and then it dips a bit for the Dragon Song War Origins, and then it rises again. And then we hit the time skip, and we need to establish how up there it is. How like this is like good ending territory. So instead of starting, like, unlike with the first act that started with the Warrior of Light in a pretty bad place, this time he's starting in a really good place. They're all in like a really good place, and that's gonna get shattered. It's gonna get broken. So Forgotten Night Pub Party. So is this gonna be like an ensemble song? Is it gonna be like Warrior of Light, Olshafont, Emmerich, Alphino, Tataru? I would say that, like, do we want to have like Alphino and Tataru like lead, or like lead with the Warrior of Light, and then Olshafont and Emmerich are backups? How do we want to kind of like tackle the singing division for this one? Also, by the way, when I Google the Smile Better Suits the Hero to check that I got the quote right, the first videos that come up are like reaction channels to it, which is disappointing. But Warrior of Light should be a backup, like 1 or 2 lines. Okay. Alphino, Tataru lead. Olshafont, Emmerich backup. Well, minor backup. Tataru does basically live in the pub in Heavenswood. She can lead while coming over to the various tables while the spotlight tracks her, bringing everyone in. You know what? Considering the Tataru Moogle song, this makes perfect sense. I kind of want to like put Alphino on the back burner. Alphino's gotta we gotta give Alphino something later though. We gotta give Alphino something. I'm probably gonna like milk the final Zell scene for all of it is worth. All of it. I'm actually gonna see if I can find Alphino's character story on the FFXIV wiki in more detail. Alphino, Tataru. Okay, so Tataru lead. Okay. Tataru lead. Alphino secondary. Oh, I agree. He should be in there. So like Tataru's the lead, Alphino's the secondary. I'm thinking I don't know if it's just because it's also set in a pub. I'm thinking a kind of Gaston vibe, maybe. Maybe not 100% a Gaston vibe, because Gaston is very much like I would say like it starts off LeFou, but then it's like a lot. Like Gaston has lots of presence in the song, so it's more like a duet. I'm not sure exactly how you categorize that, but basically Tataru is like lead. I would categorize it like Gaston in that, like in this, Tataru is the leader and Alphino is the follower. So it's like if Gaston started the song Gaston, and Gaston in this case is Tataru, and Alphino is LeFou. Does that make any sense? I'm rambling. I'm so excited. I only planned to do like 2 hours of stream. We've been over that for so long, and I don't care because I want to make this so much. We are going over. Okay, so Alphino secondary. Well, okay. All cast. No, not all cast, but like Wall, Olshafont, Emmerich, minor backup. We might want to tweak that so that Olshafont and Emmerich are just back. Let's make it the Olshafont and Emmerich are backup. No. I'm going with my gut. If you guys think I should change it, just tell me. This is definitely the King of New York of the musical. Actually, I don't actually know the King of New York. There's so many good musical songs I don't know. Yeah, see, I've only listened to one song from Newsies because of that one YouTube channel that combines like short clips from musicals with descriptions of like tabletop role-playing game stuff. 13. Okay, so that was so inspired. I'm very pleased with that. If you got no fear, you can play it in the background. I have much fear. Garu Garu, I have all of the fear. So we open with Bismarck, which has been changed from the kind of like side relevance thing it was in Heavenswood to like an opening thing of like helping out these the Vanu as like a thing that Ishgard is doing. I'm afraid of pretty much all songs, Yara. Let's see here. I'm almost certain that like the Death Note one's gonna get muted, but okay. So we've got the high energy Bismarck fight, and then we've got the Forgotten Night pub party, and this is really like we're really establishing the happy tone of the start of the second act. I want to ask, do we want to keep it going? Because at some point we're going to drop the hammer, and the hammer is called Thordan, and he's going to kill Haurchefant. How far into the act do you think we can we should put it off? Because we do want to leave ourselves room for the the actual action. There's got to be at least one song. Okay, so the third song is when the tone should shift, but are we talking total tonal shift or like start to shift? So one thing is like I feel like we can bring in Estinian in on this one. So one thing I would say that like because we're adding the time skip. In the original, they come back and they confront the issue of like the Dragon Song War is a lie almost immediately. In this, the Warrior of Light and Estinian and Alphino have kind of put it off. They've probably had and we don't know why. And we don't exactly know why. And I feel like this song should introduce why it has been a couple of weeks. I would think that they have decided, like, with Estinian, that, like, now is not the time to tell Ishgard this. Welcome, Shelaketsky. Ketsi. Welcome. Sorry about that. I just had to get used to your name for a second, Shelaketsy. But, welcome. We're just turning Final Fantasy XIV, I've forgotten the name. Heavenswood. I'm cooked. I'm destroyed. Also, Song Act 5, Act 1 name. Duty and the Beast. I'm gonna give that to you. Because it's really good. And I wish I thought of it. But I will think of a better one that will beat it. Because that really gets into that does get into the like doing it for justice and like the thrill versus the thrill of the hunt kind of thing for the Warrior of Light. So I'm just so pumped. So for song 13, I think that we get into the nitty-gritty of like Estinian and Alphino and the Warrior of Light have basically all agreed. If this truth were to be revealed to Ishgard right now, everyone would panic. Excuse me, a door has just opened, where a door should not open. So I may be about to be killed by a ghost, so excuse me for 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I'm very scared of being ghost murdered. Because I'm immortal, but ghosts can kill me. The axe breaking scene could be a huge sword clash kind of thing, like at the height of the orchestra. Explosion between Ravana and the axe. Music goes silent. We see the blade part of the axe spin in the air and plant itself into a rock. Music starts back up. Yes. All of this, please. All of this. All of that. All of it. So, back to what I was saying about the 13th song. Alphino, Estinian, and Warrior of Light have all agreed keep the Dragon Song War started by Ishgard kind of thing to themselves in order to avoid chaos in the city, and they don't want to like rock the they know something's got to be done about it, but they haven't wanted to rock the boat while they're recovering from the Dragon Song War. But this song will basically be them having the conversation of, okay, so we got to at least tell Emmerich, right? So we got to at least tell Emmerich about this whole thing. And so this is the song between those three and Emmerich about how one of them should be disagreeing with hiding the information. Yes, I think that's Alphino. I think that would be Alphino's role. If you think it better suits somebody else, like Estinian, I think we can make arguments for any one of them. I genuinely can't think of who's best suited for it. One of them should be disagreeing with hiding the information, which is why they're going to bring Emmerich into the loop, and Emmerich's also going to be in the song, and this is when he finds out and he starts to make his moves. Welcome, your epic bro moment. Welcome. Does milk make you tall? No, that's a lie. Invented by people who hate non-milk drinkers. If you want to build up Estinian getting out of hand, make it him. Yes, actually. Yes. I think that works. Okay, so revealing the truth to Emmerich. So this is, well, sung by Estinian, Wall, Alphino, and Emmerich. So like the first part of the song is just Estinian, Warrior of Light, and Alphino, and then Emmerich comes in for like the last, for the last half or last bit. And it's basically like Warrior of Light and Alphino trying to appease Estinian to like not go full nuclear, and just kind of like chill for a second. We'll tell Emmerich at least, okay? So they do that, and then Emmerich is going to start making his own inquiries. Now we wanted it to turn with the third song. Do we want it to go full nuclear with the fourth song, or is that better for the fifth song and we're going to put something in the middle? When's Azazel going to come back in Act 2? Literally? She's going to come back like for one song, and she's got to come back for Azizla, but she can't come back until they do the until Thordan escapes, until they do the Holshafon death. So Azel's final song will be sacrificing herself to get the team to Azizla, and she can't appear for a song earlier than Thordan revealing his true colors. So we've got a very narrow window. Here. I don't. Is there anything where we could because Bismarck is usually Bismarck is what we've done is we've taken Bismarck, and Bismarck is what happens between Song 10, Act 1 into the area. Alright. I like how you're just thinking of these titles on the fly, and they're very good. Alright, so I'm thinking 14 would be. I'm using quest names for reference. I mean, quest names. I mean, I don't know about quest names having the most bad. Obviously, there will be a song just called Heavensward, for sure. Now, the question is, The question almost certainly is, do we kill Hoshafont now? Do we do it all in one song? Do we do it all in one song? We do it all in one song. Or we have, yeah, it could be a big song. Yeah, well, okay. So I'm thinking song 14 then. Song 14, yeah, we've done enough setup. Song 14 needs to be that, like, there needs to be space. There needs to be space after this big reveal. So, okay, so like Thornton will have like winked to the audience, I am actually the bad guy, at the end of like Act 1, but like the characters don't know it. Now 14 is where the hammer drops. Thornton reveals himself. Hoshafont is slain. And now this is going to be like, yeah, it's going to be a big song. So it's going to have, obviously Thornton is like the chief singer. Sung by Thornton. Obviously Hoshafont and Emmerich, for sure. They're all gonna have pretty. It's gotta be a big song. It's gotta be a real showstopper because it's going to cover Thornton like revealing himself to be like. Okay, so what's gonna happen in this song is Emmerich is going to confront Thornton. Thornton is going to reveal. He's going to imprison Emmerich and reveal himself to be like the villain. At which point, I'm gonna say Wall is in this. I'm gonna say Wall is in this in like a backup part. At the very least. Because just, yeah, definitely 12-minute song, because like the Warrior of Light's got to be there. So basically, yeah, I would say like Warrior of Light, Alpha No backup maybe, or just Warrior of Light backup. Basically, Emmerich is imprisoned by Thornton. Hoshafont and the Warrior of Light head to his rescue and deal with like Thornton's backing singers of his Heaven's Ward, his Knights Templar basically, and they, you know, there's a cool action scene in like an instrumental break in the song. Maybe I have no idea how to do a good musical, but then we go straight to like basically Thornton like they save Emmerich, but Thornton is making his grand escape. He does one last one last bit of singing and like flies and is like, while he's doing his final bit, Hoshafont is struck by one of the Heaven's Ward Knights, basically like taking a blow for the Warrior of Light. Actually, hold on. I just gotta open up character stuff. Big down once more, down once more, track down this murder energy. Okay, so because we gotta get this scene right. Yep, okay, so Hoshafont dies saving the Warrior of Light's life. He throws his shield up to protect the Warrior of Light and gets like it pierces his shield and he dies, and that's while Thornton is singing his last bit. Thornton escapes, and do we want to have Hoshafont sing like a little, like just a small like one like a couple lines before, or do we just end? Like, does anybody sing after? Does anyone sing after? No, I feel like it would be better if like the music cuts out. I would say that like Hoshafont dies while Thornton is singing and the music cuts out, and then Thornton just finishes singing and it's just dead silence as he goes away. What do you think? I think that could work. It's more powerful if you cut to a shot of Hoshafont's body at the end of the song, for sure. Okay. By the way, we're cutting. You might not remember, Y'shtola is in the plot of Heavensward. We're cutting her for time. We can't introduce Y'shtola. She has no role in the plot whatsoever. Let's see here. So we deal with that. Okay, so this is the big number. All the signs should just be mentioned in the first song. They only show up as images in the background. Yeah, exactly. I agree on this. This is very like not Scion. Like we're not doing Shadowbringers here. Okay. Now for 15. I might as well just populate this with all of them because we're doing the whole gamut. There we go. Oop, that's a bridge too far. Alright. I keep thinking about how people are drawn to Heavensward stories specifically because of how tight the cast is and how they grow on you. We should keep that spirit and keep the cast lean. Exactly. And that's also a reason I'm very excited for Final Fantasy 16 because they got the same team working on it, including writers. So, yep, definitely keep the cast tight. We're not introducing any new character. Like nobody new shows up. As we've seen, nobody new shows up in Act 2. We're just giving more focus to characters that were already like a very minor part of Act 1, like Tataru, like we show a bit more Tataru and Emmerich and Haurchefant for sure. Now, we have 6 more songs. In the space of these 6 songs, the cast needs to head to Azisla. The cast needs to head to Azisla. Where Isael will sacrifice herself to get them through. Then the Warrior of Light is going to. We're cutting Ascians for time, by the way. We're cutting the Ascian plot for time. Obviously, it's going to affect Thornton's characterization, but they're just not there enough to warrant it. So we go straight into the fight against Thornton. So we have 6 songs to fit. Like we have the room. We could introduce them now. It would just feel clunky doing it so late, you know? This kind of stuff is set up in this kind of stuff was set up in like the early part of Heavensward, but like we don't want to like do like that'll just kind of like weaken the first act. That'll just kind of weaken the first act if we put them in there and like start foreshadowing Thornton earlier. No. Thornton should be like a minor seeming thing until like Thornton. I imagine Thornton appears like on the stage just for like a rival in Ishgard, and like maybe like 1 or 2 other places. But then until like the Act 2, that's when he really kicks off. So we're gonna want to have maybe a song dealing with the aftermath of the Thornton thing, like a cooldown song, similar to the self-reflection solo following the Ravana song. That's also the 5th one. 15 has to be a bring him home kind of song. Every time you make these references, I don't get them. Go. I'm so weak. What kind of song is that? And then afterwards we have to have the journey to Azisla, the slaying of Thornton, and a finale song afterwards. That's only like 3. Les Mis, the big. I've never like listen. I like musicals. I've never listened to Les Mis. I've never listened to Les Mis. Yep, we do. But in the meantime, give me the context, please. Like I know the duel where they're singing at the same time because I've seen that done with lightsabers. But okay, wait, okay, no, hold on. Okay, Because because the song before the finale, there's going to be the defeat of Thornton. There's going to be the defeat of Thornton. Do we want to just... Okay, hold on. Do we want to just have Thornton get defeated, and then the whole Needhog's eye thing happens? And then we just kind of end it there? Like, we do a Death Note, and we end the story, like we adapt just the core element of the post-Dragon Song War quests, into, like, just like a single song that will be sung after the fight against Thornton. Yeah, I'm also very tired, Garo. I'm sorry that I've turned the stream into this, but at the same time, I won't apologize. This is very good. If you gotta tap out, you gotta tap out. I do kind of feel that we need to provide the resolution to that. So, we're gonna basically take the Dragon Song War Quest part. We're gonna. Yeah, but just like whose life are they pleading for? That's what I'm confused about, Garo. Oh, it's Hoshafont. So there's like a song dealing with like the actual like in progress death of Hoshafont. My brain just clicked. I'm very, very tired. Welcome back, Naka Carmen. Welcome. The stream is still going. I didn't expect it to be here, but I'm very glad it is. So, yeah. So just to kind of crystallize what we were talking about, Morning Song. Let me just kind of like roughly put these in. Morning Song, Journey to Aziz La, Fight with Thornton, Needhog, Reawakened, and finale, all is well. Okay, should we introduce poor Edmond de Forton? No, we're literally cutting Edmond for time. I understand, like, because we already decided at the start to cut the introductory bit of, you know, going to like the two areas at the start, going to like the cloud city, the flying islands kind of thing. So we automatically just kind of de facto cut. We kind of just de facto cut the two Fortom heirs. So this is my rough, these ones after number 14, 15 to 19. We got room for one more. This is my rough draft of like how we will do it. So and just like shout out if you feel like where we would best fit the last one. We got the Morning Song that immediately follows the big 12-minute Thornton one. It's sad and it's somber and it gives them a chance to cool down and mourn. Yep, we can have one more song now, and it can go anywhere. So I'm just gonna like lay this out. Now we have then the Journey to Azizla, which is and again it doesn't have to go at the end. We can put it in there, insert that somewhere. It's Possessed Destiny Verse Warrior of Light song. Reprises the training montage song. It is original content, but I love that. I love the we're ending this with two dragoons, the two dragoons fighting each other. That currently falls under Needhog Reawakened if we want to stretch this into two. So my core concept here is we could have the Morning Song. It's nice and somber. We have the Journey to Azizla where they're like resolutely determined. It's still not like, it's not raucous. It's not joyous. It's not like the great spirit of adventure. They are just dealing with the they're dealing with this loss, and they travel to Azizla. And I think we should listen. And I think we're cutting the Garleans as well. Welcome, Jeff Cheese. Not to be rude, and I do apologize, but after reading your title, I had a stroke. Well, obviously it didn't kill you, so I don't know what you want me to say about that. Guardians are not important here. Yeah, exactly. It's just that, okay, we want to preserve... I want to preserve Azael dying. Should we actually preserve Azael dying? Because she's got to show up again, and the way that she dies in the first place, is getting killed by the Guardians. Okay, so are we going to like? Are we retconning her dying? I like not retconning. I like we changing it so Azael lives. Because that was a yes. Thornton. Okay, Thornton will kill her. All right. So Thornton. Okay, yeah. Thornton will. Okay. So instead of so we do the journey to Azisla, and Azael still dies after like giving them the power to break through the barrier to Azisla, but afterwards she's killed with Thornton. This leads into the fight with Thornton, and then we have the Needhog like possessing. Yeah, a Knights of the Round can kill her. The details are immaterial. Thornton gets defeated in the fight with Thornton. Needhog is reawakened by like possessing Estinian. And then we have the finale where all is well. So if we're turning Needhog Reawakened into 2 songs, how you said now Garagaro, you said that the it should be 2 numbers. How do we want to break that down? How do we want to break this down into 2 numbers? Should it be like should the okay, so my vision for this is Race Velga shows up again. My vision for this is Race Velga shows up again, because Race Velga is instrumental in slaying Needhog for good this time in the Dragon Song Warp arc that we're kind of like cribbing from in order to resolve this all at once. And that would be so that would be like one part of it. Needhog Reawakened is when he's in dragon form. So do we open with Dragon v Dragon or Dragoon vs Dragoon? Which order is it in? Second song he's in Dragoon form. Okay. He goes full dragon form, he goes full Needhog, Race Velga shows up, they fight and they double kill each other. Race Velga dies and gives his eye to the Warrior of Light, and Needhog reverts back to Dragoon form, and they fight as the final fight. Like the duel song, the set should just completely disappear. Spotlight's only on the 2 Dragoons. Yes, yes. How are we? You all the collectiveness that is you guys. The collectiveness that is you guys is so completely and utterly sick. You've been like chat has been carrying this. Carmen, I've told you disrespected a musical in high school, right? You've told me a lot of things, Goro. I don't know if you told me that specifically. So we're gonna have to. So okay, real quick. Let's assign singers to all of these songs, and let's assign singers to all of these songs, and then run through the entire act of the entire like plot of the musical. Okay. So morning song, obviously. Ahoshaphat is a dying, so he's not going to be in it. So I'm thinking it's like an Emmerich Warrior of Light Alphino kind of setup, or should it just be like Emmerich and Warrior of Light duet, or should it just be a solo by Emmerich as like his kind of exit from the plot, or does he like accompany the team to Azisla? Are we changing that up? Because Emmerich solo, yes. I think this is a very good thing. I think this is a very good thing to give Emmerich a solo. So Nidhogg has had, yeah, so far in terms of solos, Nidhogg's had a solo. Estinian has never gotten a solo. Is that fine? We don't really have like room to give him one. Then again, Horsefont never got one, but he still got like a leading part in the Smile Better Sid's a Hero. Training montage is kind of his song. Yeah, he's definitely leading the training montage. He's definitely the "I'll make a man out of you," like captain in the training montage. And then it's gonna get callback. Like their part of it is gonna get a callback in Estinian versus Warrior of Light. 100%, 6 and 19 reprise. Like it's a reprise. Now, so Morning Song is Emmerich solo. Journey to Aziz La. This would be just like. Also, I think Warrior of Light might have to be a woman to like balance out the the gender ratios. Is it? Is Sid in there? We're cutting Sid for time. We're cutting Sid for time. We're cutting Sid for time. We have a ton of guys. Yep, that's definitely true. We only have like one lead female character, which is Azel. Wait, no, we got two. We also have Tataru, but Tataru is more of a side character. We can make Warrior of Light a female role. That'll give some good like vocal opportunities for like some cool soprano bits. How do we get to as this like gender bend Emmerich? We're not gender bending Emmerich. This has gone so far beyond a Zatsudan Meiji, and I wouldn't have it any other way. This is big, like impromptu D&D session energy. We're not gender bending anyone. That's a bit too far for our adaptation. We're already changing enough, but we can make the Warrior of Light a woman without messing with canon at all. How do we get to Aziz La? It's still gonna be the same thing of like Aziz La, okay. So in the 12-minute song in which Thornton explains his plan, this has to be a YouTube video. I don't know how to make a YouTube video. You're going to have to. Okay. If you will collaborate with me on it, we will find a way to make this a sort of like individual piece of content. Now, you just talk and Garo does the work. That's a rather crude approximation of the division of labor. But so with the journey to Aziz La, the way they do it is basically in Thornton revealing himself in the 12-minute song. While Thornton's explaining his plan, he explains the concept of Aziz La and how he's going to go there and become a primal. And you know how he's going to like get all this power. And he explains the stuff about the barrier into Aziz La that they're going to overcome with Azel. So Journey to Aziz La would have Azel has got to be a main part, so I don't want to like have everybody do it. So I'm thinking Warrior of Light, Alphino, Azel. Does that work? Do you think? Just because like Alphino isn't gonna. I mean, it depends on what we want. Okay, I want to go back to this. What are we doing with Alphino? What are we doing with Alphino? Like, at what point is Alphino going to become uninvolved? Because I don't think he's going to be involved in the Dragon vs. Dragon or Dragoon vs. Dragoon. Is Fight with Thornton a 1v1? Or no, Fight with Thornton should be like a team effort, right? Fight with Thornton should be like a team effort. Followed by like the 1v1 of Estinian versus the Warrior of Light. Yeah! Team effort because there's no other walls. Fantastic. So I'm thinking, so basically if you got any more opinions on Journey to Aziz La, I'm thinking Warrior of Light, Alphino, Azel. Azel gets killed, it leads into the fight with Thornton. Alphino doesn't need to sing Fighting the Knights of the Round, but he needs to be there. I do like the idea of at the very least them serving as backups, right? I do like at very least the idea of like everyone is there, so we can bring Emmerich along for this because otherwise he's not going to get any sort of resolution. So I'm thinking like Wall is leading, Wall is like leading, but we have a sort of like everybody in combat worthy in the party. So Estinian is there, obviously. Okay, so do we want to kill Azel in the actual? The thing is, like, we're killing Azel off in the Journey to Aziz La, or are we killing her off in Fight with Thornton? Because that'll drastically affect if she's singing Okay, we're killing her off in the fight with Thornton. So she's just going to die. Like, how are we going to structure that? Is she going to die? She's not going to die at the end of the song, because Thornton dies at the end of the song. So she dies mid-song? Is that something we can pull off? Okay. Well, Alpha no, Aymeric, Izael dies mid-song. Thornton is killed. So we're basically moving up where Izael dies. Then Needhog is reawakened. Dragon versus Dragon is going to be the... I still get to have it! I still get to have it! You know how I was going to be like Dragon Song War Origins? Like an hour ago, I was like, Dragon Song War Origins should be, maybe even more than an hour. Dragon Song War Origins should be a Race Velga and Needhog duet. I still get to have my Needhog Race Velga duet. It's gonna be a big set piece, like Dragon vs. Dragon is the trailer bait. Oh, yes. I mean, we gotta have, like, I mean, obviously, in terms of big set pieces, in terms of, like songs with big set piece stuff, like, Ravana's the first, like, has some dramatic stuff in it, in terms of set design and prop design. And then, for the fight with Needhog, that's gonna have some good stuff. We're gonna open Act 2 with a bang with the Bismarck, and then Thornton revealing himself, obviously, gonna have some good showing there. Then, a little bit in the fight with Thornton. Then we really just kick it into overdrive with Dragon vs. Dragon. This is where a lot of the budget's going. Into these effects. I still remember, okay, so, like, I remember, just real quick to sidebar, I remember when I first went and saw my first ever, like a musical that I really, like, got into as a kid, which was Wicked, which is still has a dear place in my heart, and I've gone to see it live twice, and the thing that I remember most about it is I don't know if this is in all versions, but the version that I saw had a, like they had, like, an animatronic dragon. They had an animatronic dragon that, like, activated, like when the song like first start, like when the big, like, the dramatic chaotic instrumental starts at the very start of the musical, and the dragon just kind of like which was dormant before, just kind of goes like roar, and like it's just like a dragon's head, and I think it's just a dragon's head, and it like moves around, and when I was a kid, scared the heck out of me. So we're doing something akin to that, but it's true dragons. I still actually don't know how we're going to do the dragons in a musical, because obviously they're not, like, humanoid characters. I don't know how we make dragons work in a musical, but, like, I don't know how you make dragons work in a musical stage-wise, but we're gonna make it work. So there's the Needhog and Race Velga duet. Dragoon vs. Dragoon is obviously Warrior of Light and Estinian duet. Reprising. So, like, it's Estinian's character. So, like, Estinian and Needhog are gonna be, like, portrayed by different, like, they're gonna be different actors. And so, like Estinian possessed by Needhog is still gonna be portrayed by Estinian. I just like to make that clear. So it's Needhog, but it's Estinian's actor and Estinian's voice. And then we move here, and then we go finale, all as well, sung by all cast. Alright. Real quick, let me know if there's anything we should change. Finale is Heavensward, obviously. For sure. Okay, so we have here the 20 songs. Should it be sung by all cast? That's the last question, because I just put sung by all cast. Is that something we should do for the finale song? Where basically, Estinian has been saved by the Warrior of Light, most cast, because obviously some of them are dead. Oh. Oh, I'm just picturing like the actors of like okay, so you know when like when they do like those like when they take a bow at the end of a musical, you know, there's like an order to how they run up. I'm just picturing like and they often go in pairs. I'm picturing like Haurchefant's actor and Izel's actor running up at the same time and bowing. Wall, Tataru, Alphino, Aymeric, pretty much. Yeah, not singing, not singing. Alright. So. I'm just gonna... Okay, so we've got it. We've actually got it. We're gonna run through... I don't know if we should... Because we're already way over time. I don't know if we should assign working titles in this. I'd like to try. But I'll just run through the plot for everybody. We need to run through all of our characters. We're actually out of space, so let me just open up my own separate notepad. And the characters would be based on what we've got here. In terms of singing parts, we have narrator Hildebrand. Should Hildebrand be singing? By the way, should Hildebrand be singing in the finale? Okay, we have narrator Hildebrand. Obviously, Wall, female, is a leading character. The leading character, and then we have Haurchefant, Aymeric, Alphino, Needhog. I'm just going via order. Ravana, which is who's only one song and will kill it. Izel, and then nobody new shows up. So basically, in every so he only gets a number, and he has a bit before Act 2 starts with his assistant girl, and a bit at the end. Okay, he only gets the first number, and a bit with Act 2 starts with his assistant girl. Okay, yeah, he's got a bit of a lead-in for Act 2, where he's like, "Hey, you know that time the Warrior of Light took out Bismarck?" Now, he can give like maybe a little bit of basic info about the time skip. So basically, for the first four songs, each song introduces one new singing role, and then we get into the 5 and 6 don't have anyone new, and it's about reinforcing new characters. Then we have the Mughals, which are a collective singing group, and Tataru, Breisvelga, Needhog, Neusthinian, Haurchefant, Aymeric. And I don't think anyone is... no one is introduced in the second act, so that's it. That's our entire cast. So, to sum up, we have Hildebrand, Warrior of Light, Haurchefant, Aymeric, Alphino, Needhog, Ravana, Izel, Mughals, Tataru, and Breisvelga. So, in terms of individual roles, that's 10. Oh, Thornton isn't introduced, but his first song is in Act 2. Yeah, Thornton would be introduced in Thornton, sorry. I was like, we don't introduce him. We'll introduce him in the plot, but not in a singing role, because we don't want him to seem like that major. So in terms of individual roles, there's 11, and if you count the Mughals, that's 12. So it's like 11 like individual like singing roles. Good number. Is it a good number? Yay. We only had to trim out... We actually have trimmed out a lot, but I'm very happy about the plot here. Like, I'm very happy about the... Like how... Because especially when it comes to Act 2, we've chopped a lot. Like we've sliced, we've diced, we've moved Bismarck up to the start, and we've, like, moved the ending of the post-Heavensward quest line to the end of Heavensward. Right after Thornton, but I think it works. I genuinely think it works. Okay, so that's all of the characters. So here's how it goes. We have the opening expository number explaining the start of Heavensward, about the Warrior of Light. Then it leads into the arrival in Ishgard, where we set up Ishgard and the Dragon Song War. This is where we also introduce Haurchefant, Aymeric, and Alphino as singers. We have the Needhog villain song. Introducing, we're gonna pitch this to USP. We have the Needhog villain song, which introduces Needhog just as a force of true rage. Yet we haven't seen his character motivations. We then go into and this is when the warriors set off on their adventure. Now then there's the Ravana fight, which is the Warrior of Light duetting with Ravana with a bit of a Ysel leave it in before she gets bodied. Obviously the Warrior of Light doesn't do too well, so he has this self-reflection solo that then leads into the training montage where he goes to Estinian and goes to be trained in the art of the lance and dragooning. It's changing from warrior to dragoon. Welcome, Stalker Rocker. We're just putting the finishing touches on the rough, pitch for a Heavenswood musical, an adaptation of Final Fantasy XIV's Heavenswood expansion to the Shining Stage. So then after the training montage, which also includes Ysel and Alphino, to give them a little bit extra flavor, but obviously the main focus is on the Warrior of Light, and Ysel is originally like, this'll never happen, but she's come around by the end of it. Then we have a lighthearted Moogle song, which introduces Tataru, in a big way. They just kind of part to reveal Tataru. Then we have the somber Dragon Song War origins, about the dark origins of the Dragon Song War that Horace Velga sings, introducing Horace Velga. And then we have a second Nidhogg villain song in which Nidhogg's we see Nidhogg from this perspective of who he actually is and why he's mad, and that sets him up perfectly to get killed in the fight with Nidhogg's song at the end of Act 1. If I was going square manager mode, Wall's race is going to be determined by a fan poll. Yeah, but where are you going to find the what if Lalafell wins? What if Lalafell wins? What if Lalafell wins? It will make. I guess it's not impossible. It will just make casting a more effort process. We could definitely do it. I would say. I'd say human. Lala not in the poll. That's unfair. I'd say human, and you know why I'd say human? Because they're the only one. Because Ysel, hold on. I'm pretty sure they are all, I'm sure they are all of them elves. They are all of them Elezen. Wait, there's no Makode. There is no Makode, but also Emmerich, Alphino, Haurchefant, Ysel, Estinian, they're all Elezen. This is Elves, the musical. So it would be human or Makote. It would be human or Makote. It'll be human or Makote. We can flip a coin for it. There's one human, Hildebrand. Yeah, Hildebrand is there. But if we have it as his assistant is a Makote, so it's 1-to-1. At least I think his assistant is a Makote. High energy. Okay, so we finished the fight with Nidhogg. And then we, immediately after the fight with Nidhogg is finished, intermission. Act 2 opens with a high-energy Bismarck fight. Warrior of Light, Haurchefant, and Aymeric, they're hunting Bismarck. We've moved that forward. It's very joyous and happy, and they're palling around. And then, after a successful hunt of Bismarck, there's a pub party at the Forgotten Night. Tataru is the lead. It's a joyous occasion. She's basically this is to help get us in the what's going on, what's happening. Everything's great because we're cleaning up after the Dragon Song War, and everybody's having a fantastic time. And then we're revealing the truth to Aymeric because we find out that they've kept the whole thing with the Dragon Song War. Estinian, Warrior of Light, and Alphino have, and Ysel's disappeared. And so Estinian wants to reveal it. The others want to be not so hasty because it'll hurt Ishgard at the moment, so they decide to just tell Aymeric. And then this leads into Aymeric doing some digging and confronting Thordan. By the way, Thordan, his father, into what's going on, which leads to a 12-minute epic song in which Thordan reveals his villainous motivations to Aymeric in a conversation, captures him, leading into his rescue by Warrior of Light and Haurchefant, and then Haurchefant dies right at the end of it. Then we have Aymeric singing a mourning song. Maybe there's a little guilt there because he was he was captured by Thordan. This led to the situation in which Haurchefant died saving the Warrior of Light. Now, the and we just probably just see like the Warrior of Light is mourning silently somewhere. Now the journey to Azizla, it's resoluteful and grim, and they're determined. It's not as somber and slow as the Morning Song, but it's also like it's not like big energy. It's like somewhere in between. I don't know exactly how to categorize what I want from this song, but yeah, yes, you've just categorized it immediately. It's literally ready as I'll ever be, because you can it's literally ready as I'll ever be energy. It is that actually you've done one that I understand. It is 100% that energy of like it's about to go down, and so that leads into the fight with Thordan, in which Azel is slain, but they manage to slay Thordan in like this bombastic sort of like I am now a god king kind of thing, and then they slay Thordan in like a group effort, like a team attack. And then Estinian grabs the second eye that Thordan had, as revealed in his big plan in Song 14, and he, because he has both eyes now, he turns into Needhogg in a wave of energy that absolutely just knocks everyone but the Warrior of Light away. And I'm thinking maybe I don't know if it's like. No, I would say that probably like the Warrior of Light. I was gonna say that maybe the Warrior of Light uses the axe half to like stab into the ground to stay standing, but I'm thinking it's more likely that like the Warrior of Light stabs the lance that they have now into the ground to keep steady. And they have and basically maybe it doesn't need to keep steady because it doesn't lead into the fight right away. Yeah, I'm told that 10 per act is standard randomly, Brum. So basically, they fight Thordan. Thordan's beaten. We go to Needhogg versus Race-Velga. Race-Velga and Needhogg kill each other, essentially sending Needhogg back to Estinian's form, and Race-Velga, in his dying wish, bequeaths his remaining eye to the Warrior of Light, who uses this eye to cast out, to basically fight Estinian and win, saving his friend and mentor's life. And then they have a big finale song about how, you know, there were sacrifices made, but the day is saved, and the adventure continues. So we've just come up with a musical adaptation. We've just pulled a musical adaptation. We've done it. We've reworked it. This works very well. I'm very pleased. We just need to name songs. I do want to at least give a stab at doing song names. If you have at all like any name ideas for any of the songs involved, let's tackle them. Because we already got some good ones. Obviously the first one's going to be called The Warrior of Light. The Falling Snows of Ishgard I really like because it's a combination of a quest title and a notable line. A Smile Better Suits a Hero and Heaven's Word. So we got like good starts. Now as for Into the Airy, I feel like we can go like March of the Mughals is good, Judy and the Beast is good. Into the Airy is just a quest title. I feel like we can do Fight with Needhogg a better name. I realize we might be treading Elphaba and Glinda territory with how we did Estinian and Warrior of Light. First of all, good. Yes. That's my dynamic though. But secondly, no, because I don't think there's that whole like friends to like enemies to friends thing, of Elphaba and Glinda. I like it's more that Estinian and Warrior Light aren't that close before than like downright antagonistic. But there is I kind of understand with like the final thing, but I think we're safe. I think we're distinct enough. I think we're taking just the good bits and applying them in a new way. So we have the Warrior of Light, we have the Falling Stairs of Ishgard. The first Needhogg solo. I don't know if we should just title this the Dragon Song War or what. Because we got two. 8 should just be called Dragon Song War, for sure. We could just call it Dragon Song, We could just call it Dragon Song, because it is literally the Dragon Song. How much time do we have left? We have it, like, we've already gone over. I mean, we've already gone over. We've already gone over. It's fine, like, time-wise. One of the 7 great ones, one Midgard Summer. By the way, we've also cut Midgard Summer for time. This is my favorite running joke of this part of the stream, which has been most of the stream, is that we've cut X for time. We can think of songs there if we want to do the fun part. Yeah, no, you're probably right, because just like the triumphant finish. The triumphant finish of this stream has probably just been like, the fun part, casting the characters. Casting is a bit more... I'm pitching a concept for a musical. Casting is a bit more like actual production. But I guess we can kind of end things here with all of these notes. Casting is fun. You'll have to kind of walk me through it, Yaragara. But yeah, so this is what we've arrived at. I'm actually, like, I'm beaming from ear to ear, if you can't tell. Like, you all realize you just sat through, like, hours of us and, like, me going through the plot of an MMO expansion and adapting it to work as a 2-act, 20-song musical. And I just want to say that I love you guys so goddamn much, because, like, the fact that I'm enabled to do this is a power that none shall ever take from me. I'm very pleased. I'm very, very pleased. But I've gotta, I see, the thing is, I could keep going. I really should have maybe, like, not have curbed this, but, like, have rushed it. But no, I'm happy with how, like, it turned out. It just went a bit over my usual Wednesday thing. Welcome, Candy Win. We're actually wrapping up the stream. Because, yeah, obviously, this is a rough draft. We don't have all of the song names. I will keep, like, if progress is made on this pitch, I will keep you updated or apprised on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. You don't actually have to follow me on Twitter. You can just, like, I mean, I guess that, like if you ever, like, show up to my streams and it's like, how has this been going? I can just tell you. So you can just do that. Nomura wanted to make 15 Alemeas when my comment makes to make Heavens with a musical. But yeah, I can't. So yeah, basically, we'll probably just, like, end it without, like, going through and naming all of the songs, because that's a whole thing unto itself, baby. But we've done it. We've reworked the plot of I almost said Endwalker, Heavenswood. Idina Menzel for. Can she, like, is she? Because, like, she's been in the game for a while. And I've listened to Frozen, so I know she still had it, like, about, like, 10 years ago. Does she still have it now? Is she still, like, killing it? Because if she's still slaying on stage, Idina Menzel is a fantastic pick. Fantasy casting, a young Idina Menzel. Oh. See, this is the thing I don't understand. This is the thing. It's like all hypothetical. If we want, yes, young Idina Menzel, 100%, 200%, 300%, literally, yeah. Current Idina Menzel could totally do as well. Probably. Again, like, I see to the musical expert, Garo. Random Librom, you redeemed an incantation of power. Okay, very well. There's magic and power in a bard's song. A great telling, a tale turned to music, turned to the power of feelings, connecting hearts and minds into one great tapestry. Seven's Symphony. Serenade. Hopefully that was good enough, Random Librom, for an incantation of musical. Alright, so let us find somebody to raid for you guys. And I will, yes, this will be immediately archived. I'm gonna have to like I'll throw it I'll put it on my YouTube channel, and like we'll move on from there into like I actually have like a backlog of like private stuff on YouTube. I gotta like do all the things to like actually put my VODs out there. But yes, we did a did a musical. I'm very happy. Who should we raid? Comfy Basilisk if you want to raid target that's played 14. Yep. I don't know why I haven't just followed Comfy Basilisk. Probably because I haven't like had the time to like in-depth watch one of their streams, which is something I sometimes do. I'm kind of like flip-flop on it. I'm very wishy-washy about who I follow in that like if I put them on there, they're there for forever, and sometimes I'm like, okay, so. Oh, they're also playing Crosscode and finishing it. You should have led with that as well, Garagaro. So they haven't just played 14; they also have the God Taste. Let me just. Well, I mean, Kamayana, it's also your work. Like you have provided several fantastic ideas. It's not your work. It's not my work. Rather, it's your work as well. Yeah, Crosscode's really good. Randomly wrong. Good taste. All right. So many good VTubers in this world. Fantastic. Alright. Mortals, I'm going to provide the raid message. Raid. I have it somewhere. There we go. Hit the start raid button and... Mortals, if you are the kind of mortal who likes to use a raid message when raiding, there it is. It's my fragment of my powerful technique, the unlimited Omega Reverse Umbral Shining World Majestic Incandescent and Draconic Demonic Media Hellfire raid. Please use that if you want. Now, I just want to say, this has been way more of a blast. It's been way longer than I expected, but also so much more of a blast. I really enjoyed this. Truly, like deeply, I've had such a blast. I just want to thank you all so much, and just thank you so much. You were all wonderful people, wonderful mortals. Thank you to everybody, especially everybody who contributed even the slightest like way to like the musical concept. Thank you to everybody who chatted and everybody who liked. You're all you're all just so good to me. The positive feelings I have felt this stream have been immense because I got to like do something really stupid in front of you all, and you were all super supportive, so and helpful. So thank you all so much for coming. You're wonderful people, wonderful mortals, and I hope you have a good rest of your day, or simply just a good rest. Now, I shall send you through the portal to realms unknown. Commence the unlimited Omega Reverse Umbral Shining Royal Majestic Incandescent Infernal Draconic Demonic Meteor Hellfire Raid. Farewell.